You're listening to The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids. We now leave our network programming to bring you the following special sports presentation.
Cedar Rapids Kernels, that's a good last road. Play ball!
Are you ready to let the good times roll? Are you ready for Kernels baseball? The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, and the Class A affiliate of the Anaheim Angels welcome you to Cedar Rapids Kernels baseball. Now in his ninth season as the voice of the Kernels, here's John Rogers.
Good Sunday afternoon, Mother's Day, and the Kernels expect a crowd of almost 1,500 to see Game 7 of our 8-game homestand, a homestand that has seen us win 3 and lose 3. We have split the first 2 games of our 4-game series with the Kansas City Royal minor leaguers, the Burlington Bees. They overcame a 6-0 Kernel lead here on Friday night behind Kevin Jebsen and wound up winning 10-8. The Kernels last night fell behind 2-0 in the early going, but wound up dumping Burlington 7-2. The Kernel victory has elevated the ball club back into a first-place tie with 2 other clubs in the Midwest League's Western Division first-half standings. Yesterday was special here at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. Not only did we have a grand welcome home ceremony for the Signal Battalion, over 200 service women and men who served in Iraq here from eastern Iowa. We had a crowd of over 4,000 for that. We had a wonderful second year as well of Baseball 101, a special educational workshop for women. That was highlighted with a front page story in the sports section of this morning's Gazette. We'll talk to the person who brought it all together for the women, the Baseball 101. Lonnie Thorsten, Kernel Director of Entertainment, is our dugout interview guest in just a minute. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Benjamin Franklin once said,
"Glass, china, and reputation are easily cracked, but never well mended."
At Benjamin Franklin, the Punctual Plumber, we believe you deserve respect for favoring us with your business. We'll never forget that. That's why we do our best to give you service so special you'll want to tell your friends about it. We believe that honesty is the best policy. Benjamin Franklin said so.
You know it.
Our plumber will arrive at your house fully uniformed. You never have to wonder or fear who's at your door, because only the few, the best, and the talented can wear the Benjamin Franklin uniform. Our simple pricing system takes the panic out of calling a plumber. We give you the options first, and you grant approval before we do the work. There are never any surprises.
Splendid.
When we say we'll be there, or we'll give you a Benjamin Franklin, a $100 bill.
Benjamin Franklin, the Punctual Plumber.
This is John Rogers back at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. We've had just a little bit of trouble getting things coordinated, so I'm getting our tape queued up for the dugout interview. I'm sorry about this mistake, but let's take it away now with Lonnie Thorsten, our Director of Entertainment. College, and you're putting all your liberal arts education to use. And yesterday morning, while I was catching up on some rest from all the school assemblies I do during the week, you conducted a wonderful event here. It garnered front-page coverage in the Gazette this morning. Could you give us a thumbnail sketch of what Baseball 101 was all about?
It was basically a session with about 16 women to educate them on baseball. 12 to 14 of them were repeats from last year. And then we have some staff members as women who participated as well. We've had Coach Bobby Magianis and 3 of his players, an outfielder, infielder, and a pitcher, give instructions lessons, 20 minutes on the field, some classroom experience, and then some hands-on stuff as well. And then we had a lunch afterwards with some gift certificates donated that we gave out to all the participants and shirts and things like that.
Well, Lonnie, you mentioned a lot in a little amount of time. Who designed the curriculum or the order for the day? Did Bobby take that and say, this is what I want to do with the women? Did you give him a suggested protocol to follow? And specifically, what sorts of things did you cover with the women?
Well, basically, there was some of the information that was left from last year, so I kind of went off that, but I got thrown into it not knowing anything. So we basically set up 4 stations. It was supposed to be a half an hour in the morning about rules and terminology and things like that, but it turned into an hour because the tarp was on the field. So we didn't get a mini game or anything in. But we went out to the field. We had a hitting station, pitching, infield, and outfielding. and the players instructed all those different four.
Women are notoriously known to follow baseball more than any other sport. It's our national pastime. How would you characterize the knowledge of the women who partook in Baseball 101 yesterday? Did they come in with a lot of knowledge, a little bit? Were there novices? Were there people that could play in the movie A League of Their Own, that could play professional baseball? What was their aptitude, Lonnie?
I'd say there were a bunch of very educated women, most of them being that they'd been here before. Came back again because they knew it was fun, they enjoyed it, and they know a lot about baseball. However, they know there's still going to be things that they would like to learn, which I believe they did about balks and things like that. There was a pretty long discussion about that and what it is and how those things are called. As for people I did know things, well, myself, I didn't know very much. The other staff members were very educated about baseball, so it was nice that I learned a few things. Then, of course, the new ladies that hadn't been there before, I think, were there to learn a few things.
Lonnie, what were their age range?
I would say the youngest is probably 19, 20, and the oldest, I would say, is probably close to 40.
And how did we get such a good turnout of, you said, nearly 20 women? Did we promote it on our website? Was it in the newspaper? How did we get the word out about this wonderful opportunity for such a neat morning?
Well, we had about 2 weeks to promote it, so we took flyers over to all the athletic clubs, the different facilities that we thought there'd be a lot of women present to participate, and then called all the participants from last year to let them know when it would be happening again, to let them know if you're interested, hey, here's when the date is, here's the time.
Were there questions from the women that would come just from women and not male fans, such as what do the players do when they're on the road? How do they keep in touch with their family? What kind of questions stick in your mind that they asked that might have been germane just to women fans?
I honestly can say I don't think there were any just germane to women fans. Like, it was all very strictly the field and the foul poles and why they're called foul poles. And
those are great questions.
Just things like that as to why it's called a foul pole when it's really a fair pole. But there weren't any questions that were just something that would come from a woman. Like, this was a very educated group of women that knew a lot about baseball, which is why I think they stuck to those things instead of getting off track.
Lonnie, as far as the women's ability, there are pictures on the front page and then later in the sports section of women hitting, women gripping a baseball, women catching. Was their desire as much to get on the field and experience playing the game as it was to learn about the game?
I think they were excited to learn about it, but I also think they're excited to, get out on the field and, get hands-on and start hitting some balls and just, pitching and things like that to try to see, how good that they could actually do.
Were any of them clocked for their velocity as far as how hard they could throw?
Nope, just when we play around on the speed pitch, we usually clock ourselves, but there was nothing like that yesterday.
And if they took grounders, could some of the women be strong enough to heave the ball across the infield diamond to the first baseman?
Oh, yeah, there was definitely a couple people who could heave the ball pretty well. Andrea Murphy can hit the ball incredibly well, and I took a grounder in the face, so other than that, we're in pretty good shape.
Lonnie, is that shiner you have on your left, underneath your left eye?
Not much of a shiner, but it's getting there.
Was it a bad hop, or did you just misplay it?
I just didn't catch it, period. It bounced up and got me.
Well, Lonnie Thorsten put together a wonderful event, part of a huge day here at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. Lonnie's telling us about Baseball 101 for women that was covered this morning in the Gazette sports section. And, of course, we had the Signal Battalion returning from Iraq. Andy Pantini told us about that yesterday on the dugout interview. And then the Kernels went out and overcame a 2-0 deficit to beat Burlington 7-2, and that win helped vault the Kernels back into a three-way tie for first place atop the Western Division first half standings. We'll wrap things up with the ace of the Kernel front office, Lonnie Thorsten, here on the dugout interview in just a minute. You're listening to
Who's that cool cooking man? King of the grill, who's your patio? Your patio. Sharp broiled sausage flipping man with the buns. Who's your patio? Your patio. You make them swimming. Number one for taste and fun.
Econo Foods is the place to save on Clement's fine products this week. Shop Econo Foods for hot pricing on Clement.
For more than 70 years, Rockwell Collins has been dedicated to providing innovative and dependable aviation electronics and communication solutions worldwide. We also bring a dedication of excellence to our communities to help ensure growth and prosperity. The long-standing partnership between Rockwell Collins and the Kernels is one way we're enhancing the quality of life in our community and making Cedar Rapids the best place to live and work. Rockwell Collins and the Cedar Rapids Kernels, partners on and off the field.
Lonnie, my final question has to do with the players and manager Bobby Magallanes. How did they approach Baseball 101? Did they have to be very patient? Did they come in and were they surprised by the desire of the women to learn and know the game better? How did they interact with the women?
Well, being that it started pretty early, most of them were half asleep yet, so I had to give them some coffee to help them wake up a little bit. But after that, they came around. I think it was just nice for them to get out in the field, and give some instruction. So I think they were very surprised. Even Bobby himself said, wow, you guys really can hit the ball and you can feel the ball. So it was nice to know that, the women were given credit for the abilities that they had.
It's something that I'm sure you hope we can expand upon next year, Lonnie. And what would you add to the mix now that you've coordinated it for a year? What would you maybe do to even add to the luster of Baseball 101 next spring?
I'd say to make it an even more successful event is, make sure we're not doing it on Mother's Day weekend. Make sure we're promoting it a little bit more and putting a little more planning into it rather than 2 weeks. I mean, we definitely have enough support from sponsorship with people that donated the food and gift certificates. But as for that, to increase the number of participants, we just need a little more time.
Well, that sounds like a winning formula. Lonnie, you probably know that half of our fans are women, and the fact that on Mother's Day weekend you put together this wonderful event. Has it sunk in yet what a success it was?
It will after I wake up.
Lonnie, what time did you get here yesterday, and what time did you go home yesterday?
I got here at about 7 o'clock yesterday, went home around 9:30.
So a typical 14-and-a-half-hour day and back at it again this afternoon. Lonnie, here's something that'll jazz you up. When we leave for our 8-game road trip to Wisconsin, please treat yourself to a wonderful meal at any of our Zio Giano's Italian spaghetti houses. Perfect pasta, homemade bread, the best in Italian cuisine at any of our Zio Giano's.
Thank you, John Rogers.
Thanks to Lonnie Thorsten. Front page coverage from all the great work she did. Baseball 101 for women this morning, Sunday sports section in the Gazette. Up next, I'll have the starting lineup for Game 3, the 7th game of our 8-game homestand, the Kernels and Burlington Bees. Starting lineups in a moment. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Checking out the classifieds?
Yeah, I'm tired of working at dead-end jobs. I want to work for a company that offers opportunity.
I just got a job at Access Direct, and they're looking for people like you.
Really? What makes Access Direct so different?
I'm making $9 an hour, and I'll be getting a 50-cent increase within 6 months. Plus, there's always room for advancement.
How about benefits?
Access Direct has a full benefit package that includes 401k.
And vacations?
Access Direct offers 10 days vacation plus holidays.
Why am I looking in the classified?
Put that paper down.
Can we go to Access Direct right now so I can apply?
Let's go.
Don't settle for just any job. Find your future at Access Direct. You'll enjoy a relaxed, friendly work environment, and you'll work with great people just like yourself. Plus, you'll receive a competitive wage, benefits including 401k, 10 days vacation, and holidays off. Check out Access Direct today. Corner of Wiley and Williams Boulevard, and just off the Coralville Strip in Coralville.
83 degrees and a gorgeous sunny, partly sunny Sunday afternoon, Mother's Day here at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium, where the Kernels even their 4-game series with the Kansas City Royal minor leaguers, the Burlington Bees. A 7-2 lashing of Burlington last night. The Kernels blew a 6-0 lead after one inning Friday evening, and the Bees overtook us and won the opener 10-8. Let's set the starting lineups for this afternoon's contest. The Kernels have a record of 17-12, and we're tied for first atop the Western Division first half standings with 2 other clubs. The Burlington Bees are in the midst of a 12-game road trip, and their record in the Western Division is 11-18. Their skipper is first-year manager Jim Gabella. He last was working for the Cleveland Indians. He has been with the Indians since 1997 as a scout in South Florida. Chris Lubanski, the first-round pick of the Kansas City Royals, will lead it off, and he's in center field. Burlington shortstop Angel Sanchez will bat second. Hitting third for the Bees is the third baseman Mitch Meyer. In left field, batting cleanup, Brian Graham for Burlington. Walter Sevilla had a pair of doubles last night for the visitors. He's at second base, batting fifth. Batting sixth, Adam Donahue behind the plate. Donahue catches, batting 6th. Playing just his 7th game of the young season following an injured thumb, Brian Foster will bat 7th. He's the B designated hitter. Kila Ka'ahui, the first baseman, Ka'ahui from Hawaii, will bat 8th, and batting 9th in right field, Brian McFall. The hurler for the Bees this afternoon is a right-hander, 6 feet tall, out of Marietta, Georgia. He pitched collegiately at both North Carolina State and Georgia Tech, and he was taken in the 5th round by Kansas City last June. Right-hander Chris Goodman. Goodman is making his 4th start of the year, 0-2, but get this, his earned run average is 0.68. He was a 6-4 loser in his last start. That was Tuesday in South Bend. Chris Goodman, 0-2 with an ERA of under 1 on the hill for Burlington, making his 4th start of the season. The Kernels starting lineup is presented to you by Allen Motor Company. Allen's is having a certified pre-owned Cadillac sale right now. And just to give you one example, a 1997 Cadillac DeVille is just $8,816 during Allen's certified pre-owned sale on Cadillacs. A comprehensive limited warranty is unsurpassed on any of these certified pre-owned luxury Cadillacs. Your experience is all the better for it. At Allen Motor Company, certified pre-owned Cadillacs on sale now. Visit Allen's. They're open late tomorrow until 9 o'clock. Their spectacular new campus located on I-380 and Boyson Road, exit 25, North Center Point Road in Hiawatha. The Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup, Quan Cosby in center field will lead it off. The switch hitter had an instrumental role in the Kernel victory last night. Batting second at second base, the red-hot Howie Kendrick. He has 6 straight multiple-hit games, during which he's gone 15 for 28. Kendrick up his average to 309 with a 4-hit performance yesterday and last night. At shortstop, batting third for the Kernels on this Mother's Day is Brandon Wood. Batting cleanup, the catcher Bobby Wilson. Matt Brown will play third base, and he'll bat 5th in the Allen Motor Company order. The designated hitter Blake Balcom will hit 6th. Batting 7th at first base, Matt Abram. In right field, playing for the first time in almost a week and a half, Aaron Peel. Peel in right field, batting 8th. And batting 9th for the Kernels in left field, the 20-year-old Australian phenom, Nick Kimpton. Well, that's the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup. Now, Anderson and Brown Eye Care is proud to present our umpiring duo. Anderson and Brown Eye Care is a Bausch & Lomb contact lens specialist and a leading dispenser of contact lenses in our area. Anderson and Brown Eye Care has locations inside Lens Crafters at Westdale Mall, Coral Ridge Mall, as well as North Park Mall in Davenport. The Anderson and Brown Eye Care umpiring duo, Dixon Sturman behind the plate, and Robert Price will work the diamond. The Cost Cutters Dream Team is about to take the field. They're standing beyond the first base Kernel dugout on this warm, 83-degree sunny Sunday afternoon. The sun has disappeared momentarily, but are we ever glad that we have such a impressive gathering for Mother's Day? A lot of folks, I'm sure, are taking their moms down to the Amana colonies and treating them to brunch, lunch, dinner, and doing all sorts of wonderful things to say thanks to all the great things moms have done for us throughout the years. There goes the Cost Cutters Dream Team out onto the diamond. The Kernels will follow shortly. Casey Kochman. We talked about Casey with Anaheim Angel Farm Director Tony Regans last night. Casey's been given the call. He is now a big leaguer with the Anaheim Angels due to a pulled hamstring suffered by Darren Erstad last night against the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Casey Kochman is now an Anaheim Angel. Kochman played here 2 seasons ago, and at Double-A Arkansas, Casey was hitting .368 with 3 homers, 18 RBIs in the midst of an 11-game hitting streak when he was called up. Casey Kochman, the Anaheim Angel first-round draft pick from 2001 out of Seminole High in Florida, is now an Anaheim Angel. The Cost Cutters Dream Team members are standing out on the diamond, and they're waiting for the Kernels to take the field. The Kernels are in their white home uniforms with navy blue hats, red bills, and a different look for Burlington. The Bees are wearing white trousers, and they're wearing royal blue batting practice tops with big gold numbers and then gold lettering inscripted diagonally across the front that says B. Here come the Kernels taking the field, and let's set them for you as they head out of the first base dugout. Nick Kempton in left field, Quan Cosby in center, Aaron Peel in right. Around the infield, Matt Brown at third, Brandon Wood at short, Howie Kendrick at second, Matt Abram at first, and a battery of Michelle Samar and Bobby Wilson. I almost forgot to announce during our introduction of the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup. Michelle Samar, 3-1 on the year, a 2.12 ERA, a 6-3 winner in his last start on this homestand Tuesday against Fort Wayne. Samar making his 6th start of the year. Let's pause on Mother's Day to honor America with the playing and singing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Our national anthem singer will be Robert Wallace.
Come on, America, please join in the singing of the national anthem. It's being performed today by Robert Wallace.
Holiday, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed as the twilight last gleaming with broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night. For the rapids we won were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red the bomb seen in gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land and on the green and the home of the
Robert Wallace singing the Star-Spangled Banner. Michelle Samar, 3-1, coming off a brilliant performance here Tuesday night at home against Fort Wayne. In that outing, Samar led the Kernels to a 6-3 victory over the Wizards. Michelle pitched 7 innings, relinquishing just 1 run on 3 hits. The 21-year-old French-Canadian right-hander struck out 10 in 7 innings and only walked 1. 3-1 record for Michelle Samar. The Cost Cutters Dream Team members are hustling off the diamond. Deb Williams is our in-studio engineer. I'm John Rogers. We wish all moms a great Mother's Day on their special day. Kernel Baseball is next. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Kernels fans, your Cedar Rapids Taco Bell restaurants have something new for you to cheer about this season. A Taco Bell 10 spot. When the Kernels score 10 or more runs in any game this season, you'll score beef tacos for just 39 cents the very next day at any Cedar Rapids Taco Bell. That's a savings of 50 cents per taco. Limit 10 per customer. Remember, when the Kernels put up a Taco Bell 10 spot by plating 10 or more runs in any game, you get up to 10 39-cent beef tacos the very next day at any Cedar Rapids Taco Bell.
Airport National 27-hole public golf course invites you to join our golf family all year with these great specials. 2-for-1 green fees with cart, 2-for-1 range ball, 2-for-1 mini golf. Listen to this unbelievable new special. Only $25 per person for unlimited golf with cart all day long on weekdays. And only $27 per person for unlimited golf, including cart on weekends. Play unlimited twilight golf till dark with free riding cart for only $16 per person. Enjoy fast, friendly, and fun family golf at Cedar Rapids Airport National.
Michelle Samar is 22 years old, an Anaheim 25th round pick in 2002. Michelle was 4-1 in 10 starts and 2 relief appearances with Provo a year ago. The sun is trying to break through on this Mother's Day afternoon. A light breeze blowing from the Kernel first base dugout out towards the big green hitter's net high above the green padded wall 400 feet away. Michelle Samar, 3-1 on the year, has pitched 29 2/3 innings and only given up 22 hits in 29 2/3. He's fanned 35 batters in 29 2/3, walked only 8. This is his 6th start of the year, and his ERA is a sparkling 2.12. The Kernels start play tied for first in the Midwest League's Western Division with a record of 17-12. We're tied with Peoria and Clinton. Kane County just a half game back. They're playing a doubleheader in Beloit this afternoon. Marching to the plate is Chris Lubanski, a left-handed youngster, 19 years old, Kansas City's first-round pick last June. This fellow was the fifth player taken overall. He was 0 for 3 yesterday and last night. He drew a leadoff walk and scored in the first inning for the Bees, who are managed by Jim Gabella. Gabella has managed in the Montreal and Cleveland organizations. He's stationed just in foul ground, about 15 feet behind third base. A bunt by Lubanski. It'll be picked up and fumbled and a base hit. Michel Samar made his best effort to try to barehand that bunt single, but Lubanski's bunt was too good. Even if Samar would have been able to barehand it and come up with it, Lubanski would have had a bunt single. Chris Lubanski showing why Kansas City has so much faith in his promise as a ball player. He lays a perfectly executed bunt single to the left of home plate. The only guy that had a chance for it was the man who barehanded it and fumbled it, Michel Samar. It was a base hit all the way. A throw to first and the runner back, Lubanski. This series is tied at a game apiece. Burlington in their royal blue batting practice tops with gold numbers, and they're wearing white trousers here on the road. Ball one is swung in low to Angel Sanchez. 263 batter, right-handed hitter, no homers. 9 RBIs. Sanchez waits as Samar throws to first, and back safely is Lubanski standing up. Angel Sanchez hit .270 with 2 home runs, 35 RBIs, and 14 stolen bases in 106 games as a Bee last year. Another throw to first, and the ball popped out of Matt Abrams' mitt but rolled a few steps towards the mound. Lubanski may be running, or the Bees may have a hit and run on. A ground ball base hit into right. Lubanski should go to third. He'll stop at second. A good play by the Colonel right fielder, Aaron Peel, to get it back in. Chris Lubanski advances to second as Angel Sanchez grounded a single to the right of Matt Abrams, to the left of Howie Kendrick. And Angel Sanchez has his 4th hit in the series in 9 at-bats. The Bees off quickly on this Sunday afternoon, have runners at first and second with nobody out. And their hitter is Mitch Meyer, 1 for 3 yesterday, an RBI single in the first inning. Left-handed batter with an open stance, Mitch Meyer. Fastball is high, ball one to the left-handed batter, who steps out, taps his spikes. He's using a white ash bat with a dark blue band around the middle of it, right where the trademark is. A fastball from Michel is a strike on the outside corner. Mitch Meyer from the University of Toledo, a first-round pick of Kansas City last year, along with the runner at second, Chris Lubanski. Meyer nubs one foul off the end of the bat. It rolls off the railing of the Bee third base dugout. We're just underway, and a good-sized crowd here. Mother's Day is typically a very tough draw for both Major League and minor league baseball, but thanks to the good hard work of Colonel General Manager and Sales Manager Jack Rader, we have got a wonderful crowd here. The Cost Cutters Dream Team members had a blast taking the field before this game, and they stood next to their Colonel comrades for the national anthem. A slider, strike 3 called at the knees on the outside corner. Mitch Meyer is rung up on a dazzling slider low and away from Michel Samar. Here's Brian Graham. Graham is hitting .225, no homers, 4 RBIs. He came on to play in the outfield but did not bat in yesterday's ball game. Graham was 0 for 4 in the series opener here Friday night. He tied the game, though, at 7 with a ground out in the 7th inning. He's a left-handed hitter. A double play ball to Howie Kendrick. He throws to Wood for 1. Brandon on to first, wild throw, and a runner's trying to score, and he will score 1-0 in favor of Burlington. Chris Lubanski scored on a wild throw past first on the back end of a double play attempt, and that will allow Brian Graham. Now, wait a minute. Where was the last out? I missed the last out of the inning. I put my head down to record a run. Perhaps Burlington. I think interference has been called. On Angel Sanchez. No run is scored. Rule it a double play. Brian Ingram grounded one to second. Howie Kendrick fed Brandon Wood. His throw was to the first base side of the first. It looked like a wild throw. I was recording a run for Burlington, and I look up, and the Bees are arguing, and the Kernels are coming into the first base dugout. For Burlington in the first inning, no runs, 2 base hits. There were no Kernel errors, and a 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. Burlington leaves one man on. After one half inning, the Bees nothing, and the Kernels coming to bat. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Been looking to buy a used car, truck, or van? If so, head to Select Auto now. All vehicles are priced to sell with bottom line pricing. Monthly bills getting you down? Can't afford the car of your dreams? No problem. Select Auto offers payment plans to fit around your budget. Select Auto also offers great warranties on all cars, not to mention their experienced and friendly staff in their full-service service department. Hate being chased around the lot by those annoying salespeople? At Select Auto, you won't be bothered by any salespeople. You deal directly with the owners. Got bad credit? Not a problem. They offer financing for any credit, good or bad. Still not sold? Purchase any used car over $5,000 and get $200 in free gas. Hurry in. This deal only lasts during the month of May. What are you waiting for? Visit either of Select Auto's 2 convenient locations on 1st Avenue downtown Cedar Rapids or on 7th Avenue in Marion. Select Auto, a great way to buy a pre-owned car.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
An unusual play ends the Burlington threat in the top of the first. Interference by Angel Sanchez sliding into Brandon Wood at second, so the Kernels did turn 2 and got out of the jam. Quan Cosby fakes a bunt and takes just outside from right-hander Chris Goodman in 13 and a third, a record of he's only given up 7 hits in 13 and a third innings, struck out 7, walked 5, 0-2 with an ERA under 1, and a fastball is high to Quan. Goodman doing something unusual. He's wearing a black long-sleeve shirt underneath his royal blue knit top. I'm surprised that the umpire lets him do that. I thought the color of the undergarment had to be the same as the top. A letter-high fastball rides in at the letters for a strike to Quan. Quan Cosby, switch hitter batting left. Yesterday and last night, Quan 1 for 4. He scored in the third inning and delivered a sacrifice fly in the fourth inning. He fakes a bunt, and strike 2 is at the knees on the inside corner. That allows Mitch Meyer to retreat to a more regular depth. Mitch is playing at least 18 feet off the line at third for Burlington. Cosby is even on the count, 2-2. Goodman delivers. Swing and a tip foul into the middle of the catcher. Quan Cosby down on strikes. That brings up the red-hot Howie Kendrick. Howie Kendrick has 6 multiple-hit games in a row, and his average is up to a season-high 309. In this series, Kendrick is 6 for 10. Yesterday and last night, he was 4 for 5. Right-handed batter, Howie Kendrick, 1 homer, 10 RBIs. Ball or a strike at the knees. Howie had a run-scoring triple that capped the Kernel 3-run fourth inning last night. He also scored twice. His triple was his second of the season. A curve grounded back to the mound. A nifty play near his left Q-top by the pitcher, Chris Goodman. And he tosses to get Howie Kendrick. Howie hit it sharply, but his base hit bid up the middle was turned aside by the 6-foot right-hander, Chris Goodman. Well, Marv James is our Tri-State Travel Motor Coach driver. He's here today as a father and a husband. It's Mother's Day, and Marv has treated his wife and his family to Kernel Baseball on his own time here this afternoon. Glad to see Marv here. I remember how thrilled he was. A couple of Father's Days back, his wife gave him a Navy SEAL official watch, and Marv still wears that. A strike to Brandon Wood. Here's a high pop foul over the first base grandstand roof. Brandon quickly in the hole, 0-2. The Rockwell Collins game link spots a mom holding her little toddler boy in her lap. That's up on the scoreboard. Where else would you want to be on Mother's Day than at this beautiful new venue? Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Brandon Wood caught looking. You can see why Chris Goodman's ERA is 0.68 in his first 3 starts. The Kernels go in order in the bottom of the first. And after 1, the Kernels in Burlington are scoreless. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
With all the talk about rising gas prices, doesn't it make sense to drive a fuel-efficient vehicle? You can when you buy with confidence at Randy Keel Honda. Get up to 51 miles to the gallon with the Honda Civic Hybrid. Every Honda model has awesome fuel efficiency. Don't wait for $2 a gallon gas to buy a fuel-efficient car. Not when you can save time and money now by previewing Randy Keel's fuel-efficient inventory online at randykeel.com. Right now, lease a 2004 Honda Accord LX for only $235 per month. At Randy Keel Honda, you'll find many great buys under $5,000 too. Randy Keel is the home of confidence, a 7-year, 100,000-mile guarantee. Randy Keel is dedicated on getting you the lowest possible price backed by the best service in the Midwest. Stop by and see for yourself at Randy Keel Honda, Center Point Road Northeast in Cedar Rapids, or visit them on the web at randykeel.com. Accord LX lease, 36 months, $14.88 due at lease signing. Includes first month's payment, security deposit, capitalized cost reduction, and excludes tax and license.
Who cares what's in a hot dog? This country was built on the principle that wretched refuse could be made great. So when the tofu-obsessed among us ask what the hot dog is made of, well, the High Life man turns the question back on the questioner. You, sir, what are you made of? What spice do you add to the national knockwurst? No, you do not ask of the hot dog. The hot dog asks of you. Are you man enough to live the High Life? Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, USA.
No score on Mother's Day as we go to the second inning. Good-sized crowd here at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. We're here again tomorrow to finish our 4-game series with Burlington, and it will conclude an 8-game homestand. 6:30 start time tomorrow. 6:30 tomorrow evening. Burlington's Walter Sevilla will lead off here against Michelle Samar in the second inning. Sevilla hitting .200, 1 homer, 3 RBIs. He has the jackknife out of a way of a pitch up and in. Sevilla is from Nicaragua, a 34th round pick of Milwaukee originally. Or check that. Here's a high fly ball for Aaron Peel in right. Peel dances underneath it and gloves it with one hand. Walter Sevilla has flown out to right field, and there's 1 away in the Burlington second inning. The batter is Adam Donahue. Donahue, 147 hitter. No homers, 6 RBIs. He was 1 for 4 yesterday and last night. A leadoff single in the 6th inning for Adam Donahue. Second-round pick of the Royals in 2002. And he spent time last year with the Arizona Rookie League. A bouncer to first. Easy play for Matt Abram. He waves off Samar. Michelle Samar is making quick work so far of the Bees here in the second inning. Adam Donahue, a left-handed batter. A Baltimore one-hop chop to Matt Abram at first, 2 away. The Bees appeared to have taken the lead in the first inning on a ground ball to Howie Kendrick with runners at first and second. Kendrick threw to Brandon Wood for a force out. Brandon's return throw over to first went wide of the mark, and it looked like a Bee runner, Lubanski, had scored from second on the wild throw, but there was a reason Brandon's throw was off the mark. He was interfered with by the runner at second, Angel Sanchez, and a double play resulted. Strike 1 on the outside corner to Brian Foster. Foster in 6 games hitting .357. He hits a high, lazy fly ball off the end of the bat into shallow left center for Nick Kimpton. Kimpton has it, and that ends the Bees' second. Wow, Michelle Samar made it look easy. 1-2-3-0 across for Burlington in the top of the second inning. Quickly we go to the home half of the second. It's still the Kernels and Bees scoreless on Mother's Day. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
The Dan Patrick Show.
What did you do last night? Rich Eisen, former ESPN anchor, having a party or I could have gone to the Playboy Mansion and the 50th anniversary.
Now, who were some of the famous people that were there besides yourself?
Famous people. Drew Carey was there. Lou Ferrigno.
Lou Ferrigno.
Oh, you know who was there? Salami from The White Shadow.
Scott Baio was there again, right?
You've got to love Chachi. And the ratio was, I think, 7 women to every 1 guy. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
I did meet the triplets, who are from Minnesota.
All right.
Yeah, now that's a three-peat. That'd be the trifecta. That's the triple crown right there.
But you not only see the modern-day Playboy women, you saw, Amy Van Buren was there. Was she like the 50th anniversary Playmate?
I think she was there in like 53 or something like that. She looked like she was there in 53, 1953.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekdays on ESPN Radio.
Hello, Eastern Iowa. This is Doug Worthen with Carousel Ford of Iowa City, and we'd like to thank you, our customer, for making us the #1 auto retailer in Johnson County and all of Eastern Iowa. So we are doing just that. In a true effort to show our commitment to you, Carousel Ford of Iowa City will soon be opening our new state-of-the-art facility on the corner of 218 and Highway 1 on Mormon Track. Come let us show you how we'll earn your business the good old American way. Fair, simple, and honest. Carousel Ford, 217 Stevens Drive, next to the Waterfront Hy-Vee. Soon to be on the corner of 218 and Highway 1 on Mormon Track in Iowa City.
The second inning, the sun still trying to peer through on this 83-degree Sunday afternoon Mother's Day. Bobby Wilson's been on a hitting tear. He didn't play last night in the Kernel victory. He's hitting .286, a homer, 13 RBIs. He hacks one into the right field corner for extra bases. Bobby Wilson continues his torrid hitting. He'll round first as Brian McFall comes up with it on the warning track. Bobby Wilson smacks an opposite field double into right to lead off the Kernel's second inning. Man, oh man, Bobby Wilson continues to rattle out hits all over the place. He hit a 3-run homer here in the first inning Friday night. Did not play last night. He drilled Chris Goodman's first pitch of the second inning hard into the right field corner for a leadoff double. Wilson in scoring position. Let's see if Matt Brown will try to hit the ball on the ground to the right side of the B infield, or if Matt will just play it straight up and try to drive Bobby Wilson home. Matt was 2 for 3 last night. Started the Kernel 3-run fourth with the leadoff double. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Chris Goodman is not a big guy, but boy, does he look good here in the early going with an ERA of 0.68. He was taken in the 5th round by Kansas City out of Georgia Tech. The Bees wearing royal blue knit tops with royal blue caps. White trousers. Matt Brown pops one foul over the Kernel first base dugout, and he's in the hole, 0-2. Browning hitting .250. 2 homers, 16 RBIs. No score. We're in the bottom of the second inning. It feels like summer here today without the humidity. It is delightful. 83 degrees game time temperature. Goodman ahead 0-2. Will he come right after the Kernel number 5 hitter? Yes, he did. A slider just low for ball 1. Chris Goodman pitched 6 innings in his last start. That was Tuesday in South Bend. And he gave up no earned runs, 2 runs. They were both unearned on 5 hits. He struck out 2, walked none. He was a 6-4 loser Tuesday in South Bend. A pitch hit Matt Brown's bat and then ricocheted to the umpire's tunnel. Scott Sable, who does all those crazy fun things on his Sunday evening sportscast, did not flinch at all as that ball hit the umpire doors. Scott does the Golden Klutz Awards, and boy, I know people that will not miss those every week. They just love those Golden Klutz Awards every Sunday night with Scott Sable of TV9. Another 1-2 to Matt from the 6-foot right-hander, Goodman. Here it is. It almost hit him. It did hit him. It just nipped him on the back of the front leg. Matt spun but could not get out of the way. And Chris Goodman has a jam now with which to deal. The Kernels have runners at first and second, nobody out. Remember, Burlington had runners at first and second with nobody out in the first against Michelle Samar. But the Kernels, Samar struck out Mitch Meyer looking, and that got Brian Graham to hit into a double play. Blake Balcom took the collar yesterday. He was 0 for 5. Blake is 1 for 8 in the series, hitting a solid .281. Balcom, a right-handed hitter with a wide stance and a deep knee bend. Ball 1, a fastball downstairs. Boy, that breeze feels nice. It's blowing from the right field foul pole out towards left center field, out towards the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM home run hot tub. That's just 8 feet above the green wall in left field. An extension of the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion. Balcom takes low, ball 2. Great to see some moms and dads and their kids camped out on the lawn section. You can just lay there and put a blade of grass between your teeth and soak it all in. Wilson at second, Brown at first with nobody out. Blake is ahead 2-0. A double play ball to second. Sevilla to Sanchez 1. Alex to first, double play. On to third goes Bobby Wilson. Blake Balcom bounces into a 4-6-3 double play. That's just what the Bees wanted. And that's just what they got off the bat of Balcom. But you know who could pick Blake up in a big hurry is Matt Abram. Abram 1 for 3 last night, reached on an error and scored in the Kernel 3-run fourth inning. Matt Abram, a 38th round pick of Minnesota in 2001, played at the University of Arizona. He's a right-handed hitter with a wide stance, with a 147 average, no homers, 5 RBIs. A curve is drilled into deep left, way back near the line at the wall. It drops for extra bases. 1-0 Kernels. Matt Abram has picked up Blake Balcom. Matt trots into second with a stand-up 2-out RBI double, and the Kernels forge ahead here, 1-0 in the second inning. Matt Abram corked one fair down the left field line. Brian Graham hustled over but could not get there. It dropped at his feet on the warning track just to the right of the 3:15 mark, and Matt Abram has driven in the first run of this day, and it brings Aaron Peel to the plate. Aaron hasn't played since last Saturday in Grand Rapids, Michigan. He goes up swinging and tips one foul between the legs of the catcher, Adam Donahue. 1-0 Kernels on a double by Matt Abram. Boy, you'd like to see Matt Abram in that lineup. It's hard to play every 3 or 4 days, but he's in the lineup for the second straight game, and it's paid off. Aaron Peel on a slider, swings and misses, strike 2. Peel hitting .222, no homers, 5 RBIs. Abram picked up Blake Balcom, who had hit into a double play here in the second inning to make it 1-0 Kernels. Peel is in the hole. Ball 1 misses down and away from the right-hander, Chris Goodman. Chris wears his white trousers all the way down to the tops of his royal blue Adidas shoes. And as I say, he's wearing a black long-sleeve shirt underneath a royal blue top, and I did not know if that was legal. Apparently it is. Peel, a right-handed hitter, swings at a curve and misses, strike 3. That's 3 strikeouts for Chris Goodman in 2 innings. The Kernels get a 2-out double from Matt Abram to drive home Bobby Wilson, who had led this inning off with a double. 1 run in the second for the Kernels on 2 doubles, 2 hits. There were no B errors. The Kernels leave 1 man aboard and have stranded 1. On Mother's Day, we go to the third inning. Kernels 1, Burlington 0. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
If you don't stop by one of Jungi's 4 great locations, how will you know you got the very best deal? Stop in today at Jungi Lincoln Mercury Isuzu in Cedar Rapids, Jungi Ford and Jungi Chrysler Jeep Dodge in Center Point, and the new Jungi Chevrolet Pontiac in Anamosa. Now, 4 great locations, still 1 great name, Jungi.
Okay, so I'm dropping my daughter off at daycare, and as I'm walking out, I see myself in the double doors.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh is right. My hair looks terrible. My ends are all scraggly, and my roots. Did you see my roots? I can't believe I've been walking around like this.
Have you tried Cost Cutters?
Oh, I'd love to get my hair done, but who has the time? With work and the kids, I barely have time to find matching socks, let alone time for my hair. Besides, I need the work.
Just go to Cost Cutters. They'll have you in and out and looking great in no time.
Yeah?
Yeah. At Cost Cutters, the stylist will keep you looking great with a new cut, some color, even highlights. Check out mine.
Oh, so Cost Cutters is your secret.
Yep. I even get my favorite products there. You know, shampoo, conditioner.
That's it. I'm going to Cost Cutters.
Right now?
My roots, thank you.
There are a dozen Cost Cutters here in our area, each offering a relaxed, convenient hair care experience with no appointments and no hassles. Cost Cutters make things easy and affordable with professional stylists who care about you.
Cost Cutters. Live your life. We always have time for your hair.
From Hawaii. Now, wait a minute. This is not Kila Ka'ahui. This is Figueroa. We've had a change in the Burlington order. This is not Kila Ka'ahui. This is Annabelle Figueroa, and he takes a ball low and now a curve just inside. A change in the B alignment. Kila Ka'ahui was to bat eighth and play first base, but he is not in the Burlington lineup. This is Annabelle Figueroa, right-handed batter, and a strike is in to Figueroa. Well, the Bees made a last-minute switch, and this is a first baseman we did not expect to see at the plate. He hammers one foul off to the right in the air, and the count's even 2-2 to Annabelle Figueroa.
There's been an obvious change in the Burlington lineup that was not made aware. We were not made aware of prior to the game. The batter is number 44, Angel Figueroa.
Annabelle Figueroa, a first baseman, 1 for 4 last night. Unusual first name. Big, tall, right-handed batter, and he's run the count full as Samar missed with a changeup low. Annabelle Figueroa was 1 for 4 last night. He is at first base, and he has run the count full here in the top of the third inning, 1-0 Kernels. A let-up is popped up to the second baseman. Howie Kendrick flips his glasses down and backpedals onto the grass in shallow right center. Howie Kendrick makes the catch of the pop-out off the bat of Annabelle Figueroa. And I know what you're thinking. Go figure that one. Figueroa, yeah, it's a funny play on words, isn't it? Annabelle has popped to second, and now the batter's Brian McFall. He's a right-handed hitter. We had been told that Kila Ka'ahui, the Hawaiian, would play at first base. He is not at first base. A changeup is in the dirt, ball 1 to Brian McFall, a right-handed batter. McFall hitting .129, no homers, 5 RBIs. He drills one into the screen foul for strike 1. 129 average, no home runs, 5 RBIs for this batter. Yesterday and last night, as ball 2 is high, McFall was 0 for 4 with a run driven in. He's 2 for 8 in the series. The 2-1 from Michelle hits the batter. Michelle Samar has struck Brian McFall in the upper left bicep, and that's the 5th hit batter for Michelle Samar this season. The tying run at first with 1 out for Burlington. That brings up the leadoff batter, Chris Lubanski. Lubanski bunted his way on the game's first pitch, leading off the first inning.
Center fielder Chris Lubanski.
Chris Lubanski, left-handed hitter, adjusts his white batting gloves. Burlington is hitting a lowly 209 as a team. A high fly ball sends Quan Cosby a few steps back into left center. He uses his glove to shade his eyes as well as glasses, and Quan stuck with it and caught it. Chris Lubanski, first pitch swinging, skies to center. 2 away in the Burlington top of the third inning. 1-0 Kernels. A little boy, 7-year-old Jordan, got to take the field between the bottom of the second and the top of this third, and Jordan was the guest of Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburgers. He was our Culver's small fry this afternoon. Colonel shortstop Brandon Wood signed Jordan's Culver's cap, and Mr. Shucks, there goes the runner. A pitch, a ball, the throw to second, not in time. Brian McFall has 5 steals and 6 tries now. He got off to a lightning-quick start against Michelle Samar. The throw by Bobby Wilson was good, but late, and a stolen base for McFall. The pitch was a slider low, and it's ball one to Angel Sanchez, who wrapped a single into right his first time up. Jordan, as the Culver Small Fry, was given a certificate good for a free kids meal at either of the Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburger restaurants. That's where Jordan registered for his chance to be drawn as the Culver Small Fry. You can do the same with your kids. A ground ball fair past the diving Matt Brown will tie the game. Rounding third and scoring is Brian McFall. Nick Kimpton's throw is a good one into second, and it's 1-1. Angel Sanchez is 2 for 2. He ripped one fair between a diving Matt Brown at third and the third base bag for his second hit of the day. The hit batsman and the stolen base cost the Kernels a run here in the third inning. We're tied 1-1. Mitch Meyer struck out looking in the first inning. Nick Kimpton made a very good play to hold the batter to a long single. A lot of left fielders would have thrown home, and that would have been a mistake. Kimpton did not throw home. Remember, you can register your daughter or son for their chance to be drawn as the Culver Small Fry of the game by visiting either of the Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburger restaurants. One is in front of the Windsong 12 Theater Complex here on the southwest side, the other right across from Allen Motor Company in Hiawatha. There goes the runner, a swing and a miss. The throw to second. Save! Bobby Wilson had the double pump, and Angel Sanchez has his 8th stolen base in 10 tries. 2 stolen bases by the Bees have them threatening to take the lead here in the top of the third with 2 out. Boy, oh boy. Bobby Wilson, had he been able to let loose of it when he wanted to, would have had the runner, but he had to double clutch, and that cost him. Sanchez stole the base. Now here's a pitch lofted down the left field line, tailing foul onto the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion, chased by Nick Kimpton. Strike 2 to the batter. He's in the hole, 0-2. Mitch Meyer, M-A-I-R-E-R. Mitch Meyer. Open stance. He's in the hole, 0-2, and a backdoor slider. That's the pitch that struck him out looking in the first inning. He took it just outside for ball one. Michelle checks the lead runner at second and then steps off. Again, if you're just joining us, it's 1-1, and we're in the top of the third inning on Mother's Day. 2 out, a runner in scoring position for Burlington. A fastball outside, a throw to second, and they almost had Angel Sanchez. Brandon Wood got in behind the runner, and Bobby Wilson fired one down there, and the ball and the runner arrived at exactly the same moment. The count was 0-2. Now it's 2-2 to the left-handed batter, Meyer. Mitch loops one foul just to our left. Somebody must have made a good catch to earn an honorary lifetime Kernel contract and a free spaghetti dinner from Zio Giano's. Because a large amount of applause followed that foul ball into the stands. Here's another pitch and another foul straight back into the screen. State Farm Major League Scoreboard brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Dale Thompson, Al Shetler, Lanny Peterson, and Gary Shubat. In the American League, Toronto leads the White Sox in the top of the 6th at Skydome 4-2. Baltimore 3, the Indians 2. They're in the bottom of the third at Camden Yards. No score. The Royals and Red Sox at Fenway in the bottom of the first. A curve low, ball 3 to Mitch Meyer, who steps out. They're in the bottom of the second at the ballpark in Arlington. The Tigers, Rangers are scoreless. Later this afternoon, the Twins in Oakland at the Coliseum. Seattle takes on the Yankees at Safeco Field. And here's a high, deep drive into left center for extra bases. It'll put the Bees ahead 2-1. And the runner is racing around second. He'll stop there with a 2-out double. Mitch Meyer whistled a double into the left center field alley, and Angel Sanchez scored to make it a 2-1 game in favor of Burlington. The Bees on top now, 2-1. They've had 2 hits in this inning, a hit batter, 2 stolen bases, and Michelle Samar just can't get that last out yet here in the top of the 3rd inning. Remember, former Colonel Casey Kochman has been called up to the big leagues with the injury to Darren Erstad, and Casey Kochman should be in uniform this afternoon at the Angels Stadium in Anaheim for that game against Tampa Bay. Strike 1 called from Michelle Samar on the outside corner, the left-handed hitting Brian Graham. In the National League, they're in the top of the 5th in Atlanta. The Astros and Braves tied at 1. At Olympic Stadium, the Cardinals and Expos. Here's a ground ball base hit into right. A man will be waved home. Aaron Peel's throw may be good enough. It's cut off by Matt Abram, and it's 3-1 in favor of the Bees. Brian Graham knocked a single through the hole of the right side of the Colonel infield for the 3rd straight 2-out RBI hit for the Bees, and they now lead it by a pair, 3-1 here in the top of the 3rd inning. Brian Graham with his 5th RBI of the season. In the National League, the Cardinals and Expos tied at 2 in the top of the 6th in Montreal. They're in the bottom of the 4th at Shea. The Mets up on the Brewers 3-1. Cincinnati trails at home to the Giants 2-1. That's in the bottom of the 4th inning. In the 3rd inning, it's the Dodgers leading Pittsburgh at PNC Park 5-2. Top of the 1st, the Rockies and Cubs are scoreless at Wrigley. Later this afternoon, it's the Padres and Marlins in Miami, and the game you'll hear right here tonight on the Zone has the Phillies and Diamondbacks playing at Bank One Ballpark in Phoenix. That's our complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. We'll have more later on this afternoon. Eric Bennett, the Colonel pitching coach, went to the Hill to visit Michelle Samar. Now Walter Sevilla, a right-handed batter, steps in. Fastball is high from the French-Canadian right-hander, delightful guy, Michelle Samar. Sevilla hitting 200, flew out to right, leading off the 2nd. Ball 2 is high and into the batter. Well, it's tough to maintain the excellence that Michelle Samar showed in his win here Tuesday night. In 7 innings, he gave up 1 run on 3 hits and struck out 10 Fort Wayne Wizards. Fastball high, ball 3. Michelle has fallen behind this batter, 3-0. It all started with a 1-out hit batsman, then a stolen base, then the Colonels recorded the 2nd out of the inning, and it looked like we may be out of the inning. But consecutive base hits by Sanchez, Meyer, and Graham have produced 3 runs for Burlington. A strike at the knees to Sevilla. Now a tap past the mound off of Michelle's glove. Samar recovers and fires in time. Walter Sevilla hit it sharply off the glove of Michelle Samar. After Michelle knocked it down, he calmly picked it up and got his man to end the inning. 7 men bat for Burlington in their 3-run 3rd inning. 3 runs on 3 hits. There were no Colonel errors, 2 stolen bases, and Burlington leaves a runner aboard. They've stranded 3. The Colonels come to bat in the bottom of the 3rd, trailing Burlington 3-1, and you're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
I cannot see anyone but me. Baby, can't you see I know what's right for me? Don't tell me wrong from right. I know just what I like. Yeah, call me crazy, I don't care. Come feel the joy of mine. Each generation has time. They got their own understanding. Come to shout it out.
Here's a reminder from Peck's Flower and Garden Center. Mother's Day is this Sunday, May 9th. Your mom will be delighted when she receives flowers and plants from Peck's, your professional PTD and Teleflora florist. Peck's can deliver your Mother's Day gift of flowers and plants almost anywhere. Choose from one of Peck's many thoughtful fresh flower bouquets and growing plant arrangements. Peck's will create the perfect floral gift for your mom and deliver it for you if you wish. Order now while you're thinking about it. It's easy. Just call Peck's at 393-5565 or visit them at the corner of Blairsbury and Edgewood Roads Northeast. Peck's is open 8 weekdays and until 5 on weekends. You can also order online at www.pecksflorist.com. Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center, delivering Mother's Day smiles since 1956.
For the Kernels, no home runs, 3 RBIs. The 20-year-old left-handed batter from Australia faces Chris Goodman for the first time. 3-1 Bs, bottom of the third inning. A fastball taken outside by Kimpton, ball 1. Nick hasn't played in the first 2 games of this series. Goodman in his second year of pro ball out of Georgia Tech. And the 1-0 pitch is lifted foul off to the left for strike 1 to Nick Kimpton. Kimpton batting ninth in the Allen Motor Company order. A left-handed batter. Here's the 1-1. A change-up low for ball 2. The Kernels took the lead on a pair of doubles by Bobby Wilson and Matt Abram in the bottom of the second. Burlington pushed 3 across to the top of this third. A curve is inside and high, and Kimpton is ahead 3-1. The sun is still trying to come out. Boy, it'll come out for a few seconds, then it'll find a cloud again to hide behind. A high drive to deep center. This one can get over Lubanski's head. It will get over his head. Kimpton may get 3. Nick is rounding second. He's trying for now. He stopped. Now he stopped. Nick Kimpton is safe at second. He did not want to take a chance on getting thrown out at third. I think he could have made it to third. Bobby Magallanes is looking down in a forlorn manner saying, oh, we could have got him to third. But Nick Kimpton has belted one over the head of Chris Lubanski in center. What an impressive display of power by Nick Kimpton. I thought for sure he'd have a triple, but with the club trailing by 2 against a pitcher with an ERA of under 1, Nick probably made the right decision. You cannot be thrown out at third as the first or last out of any inning. Quan bunts, and his bunt is in the air foul towards the Burlington on-deck circle, left side of home plate. 3-1 Bs, but the Kernels have Nick Kimpton aboard at second with nobody out. He hit a high, deep drive over the head of Chris Lubanski, the center fielder. Quan Cosby struck out on a foul tip in the first inning. The leadoff batter, a switch hitter batting left, waits as the B right-hander turns and looks Nick Kimpton back to second. Oh, we thought Nick Kimpton may have had a triple, but he stopped suddenly after a big turn at second base. Big gap in right center for Quan Cosby. Lubanski playing Quan to hit the other way. The right-hander fires outside for ball 1. Chris Goodman started 7 games, relieved in 4 others for the Arizona Rookie Royals last year. He was 3-1 in his rookie year of pro ball with a 4.09 ERA. He pitched 44 innings and gave up 48 hits. The 1-1 to Quan. Low and in for ball 2. Quan steps out and reaches down to rub his hands up with some dirt. You wonder why a guy who wears batting gloves rubs dirt into them. It must just be a ritual. I don't think batting gloves perspire like hands do. Quan bunts foul for strike 2. This one sails up into the backstop. Good to see Quan trying to bunt more and more. Cosby has a pair of red wristbands. Instead of being around his wrists, they're around his muscular, thick forearms. Boy, I wish I had the physique of Quan Cosby. But, as they say, not in your dreams. With Kimpton at second, Cosby loops one foul off the end of the bat onto the lawn section where a little girl grabs it. Colonel bat boy John hustling between the Colonel first base dugout and the B third base dugout. Crowd quiet, but hoping for something big here in the Colonel third, with the Colonels trailing by a pair 3-1. A long look at second by Goodman. Now he brings it. A ground ball to second, and it's a diving stop by Sophia. He throws late. Base hit for Quan. Base hit for Quan Cosby. Quan wrapped it hard up the middle. Walter Sevilla dove to his right, made a good backhanded stop to prevent a run, and then made a mistake by throwing it to first. He almost threw it away. Annabelle Figueroa came off the bag to prevent a wild throw, and now the Colonel hottest hitters are coming up next. The first one, Howie Kendrick. Howie Kendrick with runners at the corners and nobody out could give the Kernels a big lift here and get us back in the game. Ball one, a fastball way outside. Kendrick was robbed of a base hit in the first inning. He hit a sharp ground ball at the base of the mound, and Chris Goodman picked it clean and threw him out. The sun is shining now. A light breeze blowing out from home plate towards the right center field gap over the 403 sign. Howie goes the other way and punches one foul in the air. It's 1-1 to Kendrick. The Kernels as a team are batting .247. That's 7th in the 14-team Midwest League. We're facing a B pitching staff with a sterling ERA of 3.33. Boy, if you have a team ERA of 3.33 and a record of 11-18, you know something's amiss. And for Burlington, it's their team batting average. They're only hitting .209 as a team. But that team ERA is very good, 3.33. Our team ERA is 4.10, yet we're tied for first in the Midwest League's Western Division first half standings. Howie waits as the 6-foot right-hander comes set just above the letters. Kendrick lays off a slider low and away. Kimpton at second. Quan Cosby at first. Nobody out. Bottom of the third, 3-1 Burlington. Good crowd here this afternoon for Mother's Day. When you consider all the other things that moms might be treated to. A ground ball back to the hill, off the pitcher's glove. He can't find it. Now he does. He throws it away. One run is in. Here comes the second man, Cosby, and he stops at third. Second and third, nobody out, as the pitcher, Chris Goodman, made a good play on a hard hit smash back to him to knock it down. He could not find it. He did a complete 380 circle, then did find it, then spun and threw wildly past first. Nick Kimpton scores to make it 3-2 Burlington. Quan Cosby went all the way from first to third. I thought he might score. The batter, Howie Kendrick, is at second, and I think they have ruled in an error all the way on the pitcher. An error on the pitcher, E1, and Kendrick is at second base. They'll rule it a fielder's choice for Howie to reach, and then an error on the throw to first. Ball one low to Brandon Wood. He could tie this game, or he could give the Kernels the lead right back. Brandon, a right-handed hitter, struck out looking to end the Colonel first inning. The shortstop waiting forever and now finally calls time. Brandon Wood hitting .238, 3 homers, a team-high 19 RBIs. Matt Pauley, who's third in the league in hitting, is not in the lineup this afternoon. His average is above 380. Ball one is outside. Ball two, rather, to Brandon Wood. 3-2 in favor of Burlington, but the Kernels have runners at second and third with nobody out. Quan at third and Howie Kendrick at second. Ball, a strike on the outside corner, a late call by the plate umpire, Dixon Sturman. Now a slider is low and away, and it's ball 3 to the batter. Out to the mound goes the catcher, Adam Donahue. What a beautiful afternoon for baseball here at the New Veterans Memorial Stadium, where the crowd comes alive. Andy Pantini and Metro Studios putting up a prompter on the Rockwell Collins Game Link video board, and boy, do the crew at Metro and Andy keep things lively here no matter what the situation. The Kernels definitely have a home field advantage with our state-of-the-art scoreboard sound system and the pros from Metro Studios. Wood ahead 3-1. Ball 4. They're loaded up with nobody out. A fastball was outside, and let's see if the Burlington pitching. Yes, here comes Tom Bergmeyer, the Burlington Bee pitching coach. Well, that'll give us a chance to remind you that if the Kernels score 10 runs, home or away this season, win or lose, the next day and evening, the next business day and evening at all Cedar Rapids area Taco Bells, you let them know that the Kernels scored a 10 spot. We'll call it the Taco Bell 10 spot, and you'll receive up to 10 beef tacos for just 39 cents. That's 50 cents off the regular price of beef tacos at Cedar Rapids Taco Bells when the Kernels score a Taco Bell 10 spot, home or away, win or lose this season. We've had 3 of them so far this season, and we're glad to know that so many of you Kernel fans took advantage and told them you were there at Taco Bell for the 39-cent beef tacos due to the Taco Bell 10 spot. Bobby Wilson will likely swing at the first pitch. No, he doesn't. Strike one called. It was low and at the knees, and Bobby was wise to lay off. Otherwise, he might have hit into a double play. Quan Cosby at third, Howie Kendrick at second, Brandon Wood at first. Nobody out. 1 run home in the Kernel third. Burlington still on top, 3-2. A ground ball, base hit into left. Quan Cosby's in. Here comes Howie Kendrick. The throw home. Cut off. 2-run single for Bobby Wilson, and the Kernels have catapulted ahead 4-3 here in the third inning on a 2-run single. A bullet ripped past third by Bobby Wilson. It was a curveball, and Bobby Wilson is 2 for 2. I mean, he hit a bullet past Mitch Meyer to his left, and he drove home a pair. Cosby and Kendrick. Brandon Wood stopped at second, and the Kernels have recaptured the lead here in the bottom of the third, 4-3. Boy, is Bobby Wilson something. In fact, we're going to have Matt Moss, our broadcast assistant, put into perspective just how hot Bobby Wilson is. Mike Kuhlbeck provides us with some wonderful notes before every Kernel game, and Bobby Wilson happens to be in the Who's Hot column, doesn't he?
Yes, he does, John.
And we'll let you know as Matt Brown bats just how hot Bobby Wilson is. Bobby is 2 for 2 this afternoon. Matt Brown thudded the first pitch foul off the chest protector of the catcher. Now ball 1 low.
Well, John, Bobby Wilson has hit safely in 8 of his last 9 games, including a trio of 3 hit games.
Now 4 hits, or 4, the trio of how many hit games?
3 hit games.
Yes, okay.
So he's got 2 so far today. So he's working on that 4th. He is 14 for 37 during that span. That's an average of 378.
Wow, Bobby Wilson. 2 for 2 today, and add that to what Matt Moss just told you, and you can see why Bobby is such an integral part of the Kernel first place team. Ball 2 outside to Matt Brown. There goes Wood! A high drive foul, way out of here, but foul over the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion onto 8th Avenue. Brother! With Brandon Wood running, Matt Brown hit one out of sight, but foul down the left field line. Brandon Wood at second. Bobby Wilson at first. Matt Brown, a right-handed batter, is even on the count 2-2, facing right-hander Chris Goodman of Burlington. The Bees have a right-hander up in their bullpen. Brown swats one foul into the backstop. The count remains even to Matt. Matt Brown was hit by a pitch in the Kernel second inning. Burlington's right-hander is throwing with a great deal of urgency, and that right-hander for the Bees, the sun is bright now. It really looks beautiful here. The right-hander for Burlington is Steve Bray. First and second, nobody out. The 2-2 to Matt Brown. Curve, and it's lofted into right. The right fielder, Brian McFall, glasses down, has it. Brandon Wood tags, takes 3 quick steps towards third, but stays at second base. Matt Brown is the first out of the Colonel third inning as he skies to right. 1 away for Blake Balcom. Blake is due. He's 0 for 6 in his last 2 games. Wrapped into a 4-6-3 double play his first time up in the second inning. Plate umpire Dixon Sturman dusts off home plate. Balcom is the 7th Colonel to bat here in the 3-run third inning. A fastball with lots of pop on it, in at the knees on the outside corner. Blake steps out. Kirby is down below, our good friend from the Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling Department. He's going to remind us that 40% of landfill space is wasted because we don't recycle our paper goods. Swing and a miss on a slider. Balcom was trying to jackhammer that one out of here. Blake's down on the count, 0-2. Kirby's going to show our audience such everyday items as newspaper and junk mail and magazine and catalogs and telephone books and file folders, cereal boxes. All those belong in the blue curbside recycling box, not in your trash can. A curve, and it's low, and Balcom is in the hole, 1-2. Brandon Wood at second, Bobby Wilson at first with 1 away. Bottom of the third inning on Mother's Day, a good-sized crowd here at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. Swing and a miss. What a curveball from Chris Goodman. The bottom fell out of it, and Blake Balcom swung at it for strike 3. That's 4 strikeouts for the Burlington right-hander. Matt Abram gave the Colonels a 1-0 lead last time up with a 2-out double into the left field corner. Abram will try to add to the Colonel's 3-run rally here in the third inning. He's batting with 2 on and 2 out. Matt's double was his first extra base hit of this season. Swing and a miss. Abram took a mighty cut on a changeup from Chris Goodman. 0-2 in 3 starts, an ERA of 0.68. First and second with 2 out. Right-hander checks Wood at second, and a fastball sinks low to Matt Abram. Casey Kochman is a big leaguer, the 2002 Colonel first baseman, called up last night after Anaheim's first baseman, Darren Erstad, the former star athlete at the University of Nebraska, injured a hamstring in Anaheim in a game against Tampa Bay. Casey Kochman got the call. He's an angel, a former Colonel. There goes Wood, a curve, a strike, double steal, double steal. No throw by the catcher, Adam Donahue. I'm not sure if he was caught off guard. I don't know if somebody wasn't covering a base. I don't know if it was because it was a slow curveball, but he decided to just hold on to it. And now a base hit by Abram, but he's in the hole 1-2. A base hit by Matt would likely bring 2 more home in this Colonel 3-run third inning, 4-3 Colonels. A tap over the hill, charged by the second baseman. In time is his throw to retire the side. Matt Abram tapped one over the hill, and the second baseman Sevilla charged and threw in time. The Colonels strike for 3 runs in the third inning on 3 base hits. There were no Burlington errors. Yes, there was. There was 1 B error, and the Colonels leave a pair. We've stranded 3. We want to remind you that this is Colonel Baseball on ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And as we go to the top of the 4th inning, the Colonels lead the Bees 4-3. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Kernels fans, your Cedar Rapids Taco Bell restaurants have something new for you to cheer about this season. A Taco Bell 10 spot. When the Kernels score 10 or more runs in any game this season, you'll score beef tacos for just 39 cents the very next day at any Cedar Rapids Taco Bell. That's a savings of 50 cents per taco, limit 10 per customer. Remember, when the Kernels put up a Taco Bell 10 spot by plating 10 or more runs in any game, you get up to 10 39-cent beef tacos the very next day at any Cedar Rapids Taco Bell.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
Multitasking is today's buzzword. We're parents, employees, board members, spouses, caregivers. The list goes on. Your local Pekin Insurance Agency, Sheets Forest Draper Insurance in Marion, is great at multitasking, too. Sheets Forest Draper will find the right insurance coverages for you. See Scott Draper of Sheets Forest Draper for coverages on your home, auto, life, health, and business. Finding the right insurance is one less task for you to do when you depend on your hometown professionals with Pekin Insurance.
The numbers 6, 7, and 8 men for Burlington in their top of the fourth inning against broad-shouldered Michelle Samar, the right-hander from Quebec City. And left-handed hitting Adam Donahue, the catcher, takes low. A curve is downstairs, and Michelle has fallen behind 2-0 to Adam Donahue. Left-handed hitting catcher with a 147 batting mark. Ball 3 is low as Samar continues to struggle a bit with his control. You can't expect Michelle to be as sharp as he was every start as he was Tuesday night here at home. He was unhittable. There's a strike at the knees, a fastball to Donahue. It's been a seesaw game. The Kernels led 1-0 after 2. Burlington took the lead with 3 in the top of the third. A ground ball fair past the diving Matt Abram down the right field line. Cut off by Aaron Peel, and he made a terrific play to hold Donahue to a leadoff single. Adam Donahue grounded one sharply past the diving Matt Abram at first. I thought Abram had a real shot at it, but he extended himself fully, and even with that long first baseman's mitt, Matt Abram came up just an inch or two short on that diving attempt. And that hit for the Bees is their 6th of the afternoon against Michelle Samar. Our pitch is low, and it's 1-0 to Brian Foster. Michelle just can't get ahead of the hitters so far here today. Foster, a slightly open stance, takes a curve low for ball 2. Brian Foster put the Bees ahead 2-0 in the second inning late yesterday afternoon with a double. He scored to make it 2-0. Swing and a miss on a sinking fastball, 2-1. Brian Foster, taken by Milwaukee in 1999 in the 42nd round, played with High Desert in the California League last year, hit 190 in 88 games, 17 home runs. My goodness, this guy is a power hitter. And he takes ball 3, a slider low and away. Matt Abram holding the tying run at first. Adam Donahue. This is another hitter's count, 3-1. Strike 2 called on the outside corner. Let's see if the runner's off. I bet he will be on this 3-2 pitch. There he goes. Now he stops. Ball 4 high. Michelle Samar continues to struggle as the first 2 Bees have reached here in the top of the fourth inning. The batter is Annabelle Figueroa, and the Kernels desperately want a double play in this situation. Let's see if Figueroa will be called upon to bunt. Ordinarily, you don't bunt with your number 8 hitter. He's bunting, and a pitch looked awfully good from here, but it was ball one, low and outside apparently. First and second, nobody out. Figueroa is turning to bunt again. And he takes a strike. A throw to second. Out! Bobby Wilson nailed the lead runner, Adam Donahue. It went 2-6, and that changes the entire complexion of this fourth inning. Adam Donahue with one of those tough base running plays. You have to get a big lead when a guy is trying to bunt you over, but he took too much of a lead, and Bobby Wilson gunned him out. Now a swing and a miss on a curve by Figueroa, strike two. That was a huge play by catcher Bobby Wilson and shortstop Brandon Wood, the pickoff at second of the lead runner, Donahue. Now a runner at first, one out. Strike three called. Oh, Michelle Samar, bolstered by that pickoff of the runner at second, comes back to get Annabelle Figueroa, two gone here in the B fourth inning. What a huge play by Bobby Wilson, who has 2 hits today. He scored a run. He's driven in 2. And here in the fourth inning, he nails a runner at second, leading off too far on a sacrifice situation. Look out, a line drive over the head of Brandon Wood into center, and the lead run stops at second. That's Brian Foster, yet another hit for the Bees. Their second of the inning, their 7th of the day. Brian McFall hit it off the end of the bat, but still was strong enough to loop it over the head of Brandon Wood. Two on, two out for the dangerous leadoff batter, Chris Lubanski. A bunt single in the first, and he flew out to center his last time up. It's 4-3 Kernels, but that lead is tenuous with the tying run at second and the go-ahead run at first. Swing and a miss by Lubanski on a good changeup from Michelle Samar. Now Chris cues one foul off the end of the bat to the railing of the B third base dugout. A slider low and away as Samar tried to get the left-handed batter to chase it. And a 1-2 pitch is bounced foul into the premier seats above the Colonel first base dugout. Mother's Day. I think Mama Bell or the phone system says this is the busiest calling day of the entire year. A line drive into right center will tie the game. Rounding third and scoring to make it 4-4 is Brian Foster. On to third goes Brian McFall. Well, it's just not been Michelle Samar's day here this afternoon. That's 8 hits for Burlington in 3 2/3 innings. It wasn't hit particularly hard. In fact, I think Lubanski hit it off the trademark, but he brings Brian Foster home and sends Brian McFall to third, and neither team has been able to hold a lead here this afternoon. We're tied 4-4 in the top of the fourth inning. Runners at the corners with 2 out for a tough batter, Angel Sanchez. He's 2 for 2 today. One thing about Michel Samar is curveball, a beauty, a strike. Even though he doesn't have his best stuff, he will battle you. He is a tremendous competitor. A high fly ball off the end of the bat down the right field line, out of play. And Samar was into his windup, and the batter was granted time by the plate umpire. The runner from first goes, a swing and a foul. Bobby Wilson probably would have held on to it, but he was coming out of his catching crouch, and as a result, the ball tipped off the webbing of his mitt, and the runner back to first, Chris Lubanski. The 0-2. A high drive to right near the line. Aaron Peel waits and has it. We're out of the inning. Angel Sanchez retired for the first time this afternoon. In the fourth, Burlington ties the game 1 run on 3 base hits, no Kernel errors, and the Bees leave a pair. They've stranded 5. No indication yet who's going to come out on top here on Mother's Day. After 3.5, it's the Kernels 4 and the Bees 4. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Mike and Mike in the Morning on ESPN Radio.
Bob DePay joins us from Tokyo. How much time do you and Bud Selig spend thinking about changing with the times and keeping intact some of the beloved traditions?
Every decision that is made takes that into account. We often talk about how the passion of our fans is both our blessing and our curse. Every time we do something, Bud is very mindful of that. And even though there have been more changes under his leadership in the last 15 years than had occurred in the century before, they've always been done with the traditions of the game in mind.
One more quickly, Bob, and that would be the kind of drug testing that takes place on the level for the Olympics. What, if any, effect do you think that might have on Major League Baseball's drug testing policy?
I think there's no question that we can't do it without getting to that type of a program for international competition. And I think it's another step in the direction toward Bud's desired goal of zero tolerance.
Don't miss Mike and Mike in the Morning, only on ESPN Radio.
Rev it up! Get the key to buying and selling your next vehicle with a Corridor edition of Wheels for You. This automotive publication is available at over 400 locations near you every other Friday. Pick up your free copy today and put yourself in the driver's seat with Wheels for You. Call 800-397-8234 to place your ad today or visit us online at www.corridorwheelsforyou.com. Wheels for You, a publication of Gazette Communications.
4-4 as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. A strike is in to Aaron Peel. Peel struck out leading off, or to end the Kernel's second inning. 4-4, bottom of the fourth inning. Each team has been unable to hold leads of 1 run or of 2 runs. A swing and a miss on a curveball, and Aaron steps out. Chris Goodman, a right-hander, just 6 feet tall. He's not a big guy, but he's been highly effective in his first 3 starts, an ERA of 0.68. He spins a curveball in the dirt, and it's 1-2 to the Kernel batter, Aaron Peel. Swing and a miss. Aaron Peel couldn't make contact with another breaking pitch, and that's 5 strikeouts for the B right-hander. Michel Samar has been struggling here in the first 4 innings. He's yielded 4 runs on 8 hits. Goodman has given up 4 runs on 5 hits. It was Nick Kempton's double that got the Kernel 3-run third inning started. Nick batting for the second time this afternoon. The sun still trying to peer out and stay out for a longer period of time. A breaking pitch, a strike to Nick Kempton. Kempton belted a double over the head of center fielder Chris Lubanski on a 3-1 pitch, his first time up. Now ball one is low, a fastball. Fastball below the knees, and Nick's ahead 2-1. Nick Kimpton, a left-handed batter, using a white bat with 2 white batting gloves, a wide stance, and he jackhammers one into the right field corner. This may be a triple. Running over to the base of the wall is Brian McFall. He gets it back in to hold Kimpton to a 1-out double. Nick Kimpton is 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. 2 for 2 with 2 doubles for Nick Kimpton. He's the go-ahead run at second with only 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 4th, Quan Cosby will bat. Quan singled an infield single and scored his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Mr. Shucks making a few friends down below in the first row of premier seats behind home plate. Quan Cosby has 5 RBIs this year. He's trying to drive home Kimpton with the go-ahead run. A strike is called on the inside corner to Quan. Quan's average stands at 226. A tap to the left of the mound, charged by the shortstop. Angel Sanchez on to first for the 2nd out of the inning. Nick Kimpton, with great base running, went to third on a ball hit weakly past the mound to the shortstop. And now Howie Kendrick may be walked. Howie is so hot with the bat that I'm not sure that the Bees will give him anything near the plate to swing at. Kendrick, a .309 hitter, hits one over the head of the third baseman for an RBI. Kendrick rounds first. He's headed to second ahead of the throw by Brian Graham, and it's 5-4 Kernels. Howie Kendrick strikes again. I didn't think Burlington would give him anything to swing at, but they did, and Howie Kendrick comes through as he cranked one over the head of Mitch Meyer, the third baseman, down the left field line for a double. Howie Kendrick has hit safely in 8 straight games. Howie Kendrick with a double over the third baseman's head to drive home Nick Kimpton, and that now makes it a 5-4 Kernel lead in this seesaw game. Brandon Wood at the plate. And he slaps one foul behind home plate. Can Brandon Wood add to the Kernel lead here? Yes, he pokes one over the first baseman's head down the line and right. Here comes Howie Kendrick on a base hit into right. The 20th RBI of the year for Brandon Wood, and the Kernels lead it 6-4. Brandon Wood with an inside-out swing went the other way and looped it over the head of Annabelle Figueroa. Kendrick scores with 2 outs, and the Kernels now have 8 hits off of Chris Goodman, and it's a 6-4 Kernel lead. Out comes the Bee skipper, and that may be it for this right-hander. Burlington may be making a pitching change here in the 4th inning. Howie Kendrick with an RBI double to break a 4-4 tie here in the 4th inning. And then we are going to have a pitching change. We're going to have a pitching change. Chris Goodman has been lifted, and coming on for the Bees is Steve Bray. Steve Bray is the new pitcher, a right-hander for Burlington. Goodman goes 3 2/3. In 3 2/3, he has surrendered 6 runs. On 8 hits, the right-hander struck out 5, and he walked 1. He also hit a batter. A new hurler is on for Burlington, and while he warms up, we have to thank State Farm Insurance agents Gary Schubat, Al Shetler, Lanny Peterson, and Dale Thompson. Matt Moss, don't know if we have any finals yet, but plenty of action on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Why don't you start in the National League, Matt?
All right, John. National League, we have 2 finals. Houston has beaten Atlanta 2-1. That game was being played in Atlanta. And, John, looks like your Cardinals beat the Expos. That score was 5-2. And in the American League, we have 1 final. The Blue Jays beat the White Sox by a score of 5-2.
All right, Matt, we still have a few seconds. Let's get those partial scores.
Okay, in the bottom of the 7th inning, the score between Cleveland and Baltimore. Let's see, Baltimore is up 10-9 over the Indians. At the bottom of the 6th inning, the Kansas City Royals are beating the Boston Red Sox 6-2. Bottom of the 8th inning, Detroit Tigers are beating Texas Rangers 5-3. Top of the 2nd inning, scoreless, Tampa Bay playing against our parent club, the Anaheim Angels. Bottom of the 1st inning, the Oakland A's are beating Minnesota Twins 2-0. Top of the 2nd inning, New York Yankees and Seattle Mariners are scoreless.
And we'll give the National League, well, there goes the runner. A pitch low and the throw to second. Not in time. A stolen base for Brandon Wood. A pitch by the newcomer Steve Bray low to Bobby Wilson, and Wood steals second. Matt, was there one other West Coast game in the American League?
No, that was it for the American League, John.
All right, we'll get to the National League in just a little bit. Matt Moss, our broadcast assistant, taking a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Bobby Wilson slugs one into right. It'll be caught by Brian McFall to end the inning. McFall retreats and has it. Bobby Wilson flies to right, and in the Kernel 4th inning, 2 runs on 3 hits. No Burlington errors. The Kernels leave a runner and have stranded 4. And they've chased the starter, Chris Goodman. After 4, Kernels lead Burlington 6-4. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Quiznos Kernels Kids Club members. Did you know that your Quiznos Kernels Kids Club membership card is good for more than just great deals at the ballpark? That's right. By showing your Quiznos Kernels Kids Club membership card at any of the Cedar Rapids Quiznos, you'll receive a free small drink when you buy a Quiznos sub. That's a free small drink with the purchase of a Quiznos sub when you show your Quiznos Kernels Kids Club card.
Quiznos. Toasty. Hey, man, what's up? Just getting ready to kick your butt.
Right.
And mess up your hair?
You just wish you could look this good.
Boo! Nothing but that. Hey, I'm a busy guy. I don't have time to make my hair look as good as yours. I mean, who has time to schedule an appointment, let alone show up for it?
Not me. I just go to Cost Cutters. I can get in whenever it's convenient for me.
Nice shot.
Yeah.
So you're telling me you just walk into Cost Cutters and come out looking good?
Well, for some of us, that comes naturally. But Cost Cutters makes it easier. They can do anything you want. A cool cut, even some color, and get some of that styling gel stuff to keep you looking good. Like me.
Oh, so that's why your hair never moves.
Oh, you're funny.
Cost Cutters. Thanks, man. This will save me some time.
Great. Then you'll have time to work on your game.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
Are you a busy guy? Save yourself time and walk into one of our area's 12 Cost Cutters whenever it's convenient for you. Then relax, because Cost Cutters will make things easy and affordable for you.
Cost Cutters. Live your life. We always have time for your hair.
Colonel Broadcast Assistant Matt Moss is going to continue with partial scores in the National League on the State Farm Major League scoreboard this afternoon.
In the top of the 9th inning, the New York Mets and the Milwaukee Brewers are tied at 5, that game being played at Shea Stadium. In the bottom of the 9th, the San Francisco Giants and Cincinnati Reds are tied at 6 as well. That game is being played at the Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. Bottom of the 9th, Pittsburgh Pirates and Los Angeles Dodgers are tied at 7 runs apiece. In the top of the 7th, the Colorado Rockies and Chicago Cubs are tied at 3. And in the top of the 3rd, in Florida at Pro Players Stadium.
A ground ball hit sharply through the middle. Another hit for the Bees. Mitch Meyer is 2 for 3. He stepped into Michelle Samar's first delivery and cracked it through the middle for the 9th hit for Burlington. Leadoff man on in the top of the 5th. 6-4 Kernels.
Okay, let me start that one over again. The Florida Marlins are beating the San Diego Padres 6-1. That game is in the top of the third inning. And tonight's game in the National League, starting at 7:05, that game will feature Philadelphia at Arizona.
And you'll hear it right here on the Zone from Bank One Ballpark in Phoenix. Thanks to Matt Moss for bringing us up to date on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Matt, we have so many Cub fans in the audience. Could you give that Cub score again at Wrigley against the Rockies?
That is tied at 3 runs apiece at the top of the 7th inning.
Thank you, Matt Moss, and thanks to State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Lanny Peterson, Gary Schubat, and Dale Thompson. Michelle Samar trying to protect a 2-run lead. Misses outside with the fastball, ball 1 to left-handed cleanup batter Brian Graham. The Kernels have a tall right-hander working in their bullpen. The Kernels knocked out Chris Goodman, the Burlington starter, with their 2-run bottom of the 4th inning. Alan Buckley warming up in the Kernel right field bullpen. A throw to first, and the runner scampers back safely. The Kernels have been out-hitting this game 9-8, but lead it 6-4. Chris Goodman went 3 2/3, surrendered 6 runs on 8 hits, struck out 5, walked 1, and he also hit a batter. He has given way to Steve Bray, who got the final out in the Kernel 4th inning. Samar delivers. A ground ball to first. Abrams steps on first, throws to second, not in time. Matt made a good play at first because he was bobbling that ball when he transferred it from his glove to his throwing hand. He did get Brian Graham on an unassisted putout. It helped that Abram was having to hold the runner Mitch Meyer on. Mitch Meyer advanced to second on a ground ball out unassisted by Matt Abram. The Kernels do have Alan Buckley warming up in the bullpen. Buckley last pitched Tuesday, the same day that Michelle Samar pitched against Fort Wayne so effectively. A curveball is low and into Walter Sevilla. Sevilla has flown to right and grounded back to the mound. Runner at second, 1 out in the B5th inning, 6-4 Kernels. Steve Wright called a good fastball at the knees to the right-handed batter. Again, Steve Bray is taken over for Burlington. Breaking ball, a strike at the knees. It was sunny about 10 to 15 minutes ago. Now it's overcast again. That Mr. Sunshine just won't stay with us as long as we'd like him to. Frenchie is battling. Curve, strike, 3 called. Michelle Samar, the ultimate competitor, does not have his best stuff here today. But man, is he staying with it, trying his best to keep the Kernels ahead and turn it over to the Kernel bullpen. This will likely be his last inning of work. Adam Donahue is 1 for 2. He singled his last time up. 6-4 Kernels, top of the 5th inning. Donahue takes a strike on the outside corner, a let-up from Michelle Samar. Each team has held the lead twice today. The 0-1 to the left-handed hitting catcher. Now he steps out. Donahue, instead of wearing sweatbands, tapes his wrists. Both of his wrists are taped with that white athletic tape. He does not wear batting gloves. Ooh, he swung at a high fastball and missed. Strike 2. Brother, did Michelle Samar challenge him, but left it high enough that it didn't hurt him. That pitch at this level is very hard to lay off of, that high fastball. Michelle ahead, 0-2. A ground ball up the middle. Cutting across the bag at second is Brandon Wood, and he throws in time. Oh, a bouncer over the hill to the right side of second. Brandon Wood had all of his momentum carrying him towards the right side of the infield. It's lucky he did, because Howie Kendrick did not have nearly as good a chance. Boy, Brandon Wood flashed across the middle of the diamond with a great deal of athletic beauty, and he threw out Adam Donahue. That may be it for Michelle Samar. 5 innings in the books. No runs for the Bees in the 5th. a leadoff single, 1 hit. There were no Kernel errors. The Bees strand a runner, their 6th left of the afternoon. After 4.5 on Mother's Day, the Kernel 6, Burlington 4. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
The way to pocket important savings is to take advantage of Chevron motor oils and lubricants from the Otson Oil Company, your local Chevron oil distributor. Chevron lubricants are made from higher quality base oils for better performance, and that means longer life for your engine. Contact the Otson Oil Company in Cedar Rapids for details on how you can save time and money with Chevron lubricants. The Otson Oil Company, serving Iowa with quality lubricants since 1933. Visit Otson Oil Company at www.otson.com.
Did you know nearly 40% of all the waste going to landfills is paper? That includes newspapers, magazines, catalogs, junk mail, computer paper, cereal boxes, pop and beer cartons. Your friends at Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling encourage you to recycle those common household paper products by putting them in your blue recycling box on Collection Day. Save our landfill space. Recycle your paper waste.
When we met, it's spaghetti, we would never forget the Ojanos. Now it's where mi amore and I, Danne, we carry out the lunch and the dinner all the time for lasagna, ravioli, mandacati, cannelloni, tortellini, or try their delicious salads and sub sandwiches too. The Ojanos is the hometown taste of Italy. For your next meal with friends and a family, remember the Ojanos with 5 convenient locations for the pasta that makes you sing.
Matt Brown is first up against Steve Bray. Bray is pitching for the 4th time for Burlington this season, no record. He's on for the 4th time, an ERA of 1.00. He came in and got Bobby Wilson in relief of starter Chris Goodman to end the Kernel 4th inning. A slider's a strike call to Matt Brown. Remember, we'll have our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question for you in the top of the 6th inning. And we're going to ask you a fun question about Mr. October, Reggie Jackson. Ball 1 outside to Brown. It looks like Alan Buckley will pitch the top of the 6th inning. Michelle Samar is likely done. Here's a high pop foul outside of first near the Kernel dugout. The catcher and first baseman converge, and it's Annabelle Figueroa, wearing Henry Aaron's number 44, who caught the pop-up on the warning track material halfway between home and first base. Matt Brown has fouled out to the first baseman, 1 gone here in the Kernel 5th inning, 6-4 Kernels. Michelle Samar went 5 innings, and he allowed 4 runs on 9 base hits. Michelle struck out 3, ball 1 low to Blake Balcom. And Samar walked 1, and he hit 1. He'll likely be relieved by Alan Buckley. Blake Balcom hoists one into shallow right, trotting in and camping underneath it, and gloving it with one hand for the second out is Brian McFall. Blake Balcom flies to right. Nothing for 3 today for the Kernel DH. And now Matt Abram will stand in. 6-4 Kernels. Our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question comes your way in the top of the 6th inning. Matt Abram doubled in a run to give the Kernels a 1-0 lead in the 2nd inning. A strike called from right-hander Steve Bray, B-R-A-Y. Steve is a 6'1" right-hander, and he's 23 years old, drafted by Kansas City in the 14th round out of the University of New Haven, a Division II powerhouse on the East Coast. Strike 2 called to Abram. Matt steps out. Bray is from New England. He's from New Haven, Connecticut, and a tap foul outside of third keeps Matt Abram alive, 0-2. Ordinarily, when you mention the New Haven, Connecticut, you think of Yale University or Trinity. Well, Trinity's in Hartford, Connecticut. But the University of New Haven shares that great city with Yale University. Ground ball sharply hit to third. Mitch Meyer has it. The long throw retires the Kernels in the bottom of the 5th inning. Matt Abram grounds to third, and 4 in a row retired by the B right-hander Steve Bray. We suspect that Alan Buckley will come on to work the 6th inning, and he will. The Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question comes your way next. After 5, the Kernels lead Burlington 6-4. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Toyota Financial Services of Cedar Rapids understands the importance of reading in the lives of our community's children. That's why they're proud to fund the 6th annual Toyota Financial Services Kernel Summer Reading Program. The generous support of Toyota Financial Services will result in Kernel players conducting a record 32 elementary school assemblies this spring to encourage girls and boys to read throughout the summer. Their reading accomplishments will be recognized by Toyota Financial Services with fabulous rewards. Toyota Financial Services, a true hero to the Kernels and the youth of our community.
None of us can do anything about a bad day, but we can make certain nothing happens to all of our tomorrows. Take everything out of the hands of chance with a well-planned insurance program tailored specifically to your needs. Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Weidenhammer Andrews Agency, is an expert in insurance matters. Phil Andrews will develop the right insurance plan for your home, car, business, and life. Depend on Phil Andrews, your hometown professional with Pekin Insurance.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
A U.S. Cellular call to the Kernel bullpen has right-hander Alan Buckley taking over here in the top of the 6th inning. Michelle Samar went 5, allowed 4 runs on 9 hits, fanned 3, walked 1, hit a batter. Didn't have his best stuff, but leaves with a chance to win and competed his heart out, as he always does. Alan Buckley, Kernel right-hander. No record, on for the 10th time, an ERA of just over 6. Allen's pitched 13 in the 3rd innings, and he's given up 9 runs in 13 in the 3rd. On 13 hits, he's struck out 11 and walked 7. The league hitting .241, a ground ball to the left side, slapped off the bat of Brian Foster. He pulls it to Matt Brown, and he's out 5-3. Brian Foster, first pitch swinging, grounds out to 3rd, 1 away.
First baseman, Anibal Figueroa.
Here's Anibal Figueroa, a 121 hitter with 1 homer and 1 RBI. We have had 17 different winners in our Springhouse Family Restaurant Baseball Trivia question. And if you've been one of those 17, congratulations. You've already earned a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse. But please don't call in and play this afternoon if you've been one of those 17 previous winners. Ball 1 low to Figueroa. Now he golfs 1 foul to the base of the screen. Strike 1. Alan Buckley pitched Tuesday in our 6-3 win against the Wizards here at home. He pitched an inning, surrendered 2 runs on 2 hits, struck out 2, walked none. 6'6" right-hander delivers. A hard drive into deep center. Quan Cosby will not get it. It's just over his head to the base of the 403 mark. Anibal Figueroa stops at second with a double. Anibal Figueroa doubles over the head of Quan Cosby. He just did get it over Quan's head in deep, deep right center field for the 10th hit of the day for Burlington. Mother's Day and Sunday home-cooked meals at the Springhouse. Real turkey, fall off the bone, not formed turkey, roast beef and pork loin. Those are Sunday home-cooked meals at the Springhouse. All the Sunday home-cooked meals are served with sage dressing, vegetable choice of mashed or sweet potatoes, a special salad, fresh baked bread, and a dessert, all for just $7.25. Sunday, including today and tonight, at the Springhouse. Sunday home-cooked meals, turkey, roast beef, and pork loin, with all the fixins for just $7.25. A curve is a strike to Brian McFall. Now a curve is hammered into deep right center. That may not be caught. It is going to be an extra base hit to the base of the wall. One run is in, and the batter is at second with an RBI double. Alan Buckley has surrendered back-to-back doubles to the lower two in the order for Burlington, and the Bees have the tying run at second with nobody out. Annabelle Figueroa scored on the double into the right center field alley by Brian McFall. And now with one out, Chris Lubanski will try to tie this game at 6 in the top of the 6th inning. With our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question, here's Colonel Broadcast Assistant Matt Moss.
All right, John, our question today is, Reggie Jackson hit 100 home runs for 3 different teams. Name the 3 teams.
We'll repeat that question in a moment and then give the phone number to call. Lubanski takes low, ball 1 from Alan Buckley. Matt Moss, let's hear it again.
Today's Springhouse trivia question is, Reggie Jackson hit 100 home runs for 3 different ball clubs. Name them.
The 1-0 to the left-handed hitter. Outside, Alan Buckley's fallen behind 2-0. Well, what did Mr. October do? He hit 100 home runs with 3 different clubs. That's what Matt asked for our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. What were those 3 teams? 896-7589, 896-7589, 896-7589, the number to call for a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse. Ball 3 is low to Lubanski as Alan Buckley continues to struggle here in his first inning of relief. There's a strike on the outside corner to the left-handed batter, Lubanski. We have a winner already in our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. We have a winner. A ground ball to the right side. Howie Kendrick has it, and on to first for the out. Over to third goes the tying run, Brian McFall. Chris Lubanski fell ahead, or Alan Buckley fell behind Lubanski 3-0 and got him on a 3-1 pitch to ground out to second. 2 gone in the top of the 6th. It's 6-5 Kernels. A few raindrops are falling, nothing to be concerned about. Some of the fans are heading for the cover of the concourse. Now a slider is low and outside, and it's ball 1 to the Angel Sanchez. Just a few raindrops are falling. And as we mentioned, we have a winner in our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. That was a strike to Sanchez. Now a wild pitch, and a run will score to tie the game. Doggone it, we're tied at 6 on an Alan Buckley wild pitch. 6-6 the score. Well, great news, Matt Moss. We have a winner. Why don't you repeat the Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question, give the answer, and then congratulate our winner.
All right, John, today's question was, Reggie Jackson hit 100 home runs for 3 different teams. Name them. The 3 teams were the Oakland Athletics.
A ground ball base hit into left by Angel Sanchez, and Alan Buckley surrenders his 3rd hit of this 6th inning. Burlington has now out-hit the Kernels 12-8. We're tied 6-6. It's raining just a little bit harder now. Some of the folks heading for cover. Matt Moss has told you that Reggie Jackson hit 100 home runs with Oakland. Who are the other 2 teams, Matt?
Well, I mentioned Oakland already. The other 2 teams were the New York Yankees and the California Angels.
And who knew that?
Today's winner was Mike Langheim of Marion.
Mike Langheim has won a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse for being able to identify the Athletics, Yankees, and Angels as the 3 teams that Reggie Jackson hit at least 100 home runs for. A strike to Mitch Meyer. The left-handed batter loops a base hit into left, and that's the 4th hit of the inning off Alan Buckley. On to second goes Angel Sanchez. Alan Buckley doing a good job trying to keep this game tied at 6. He has surrendered a couple of runs here in the 6th inning on 4 hits, and that base hit by Meyer is the 13th of the afternoon for the Bees. And Burlington has tied the game with a pair here in the 6th inning with the rain coming down. Not too hard, it's just sprinkling. Angel Sanchez stopped at second. As Eric Bennett visits the hill to try to settle Alan Buckley down, very interesting that Reggie Jackson's name surfaced not only for our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question, Matt Moss, but also in relationship to the star slugger of the Chicago Cubs, Sammy Sosa.
Yes, John. It was very appropriate that today's question centered on Mr. October because in yesterday's 4-3 loss to the Colorado Rockies, Sammy Sosa struck out 3 times, in which that put him in second place all time for career strikeouts. The leader in that category is Mr. October, Reggie Jackson.
A strike called to left-handed hitting Brian Graham. Burlington trying to take the lead here in the 6th. I thought Sammy Sosa only hit home runs.
Well, you know, whenever you're swinging a lot, you're going to hit some long balls and you're going to strike out a few times too. So you got to have it both ways, I guess.
I think you're right, Matt. Well, Mike Langheim, congratulations. That was not an easy question to identify the 3 teams that Reggie Jackson hit at least 100 home runs for. Mike, you've earned yourself a $5 gift certificate to the Spring House. The 1-1 to the left-handed batter is just low, ball 2. Alan Buckley got the leadoff batter to ground out to third, but then a double, an RBI double, a ground out, a wild pitch, and we're tied. 2 singles have followed, and Burlington is trying to take the lead back here in this 6th inning. Strike called on the outside corner. Now the deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on in a 6-6 game. Yeah, Matt, I'd forgotten that Reggie Jackson, who hit over 500 home runs, also is the all-time career leader in strikeouts. And there go the runners! Look out! A pitch drilled foul past third, and the count remains 2-2 to Brian Graham. I had forgotten that Reggie had whiffed over 2,000 times.
Actually, that's 2,597 to be exact, John.
Wow. And Reggie would not shirk from that at all. In fact, I bet he's proud of that record because, as you say, it meant he hit a ton of home runs, too. Will the runners go? Alan Buckley spins and looks the lead runner back to second. Alan has been real solid for the Kernels. There's some lightning flashes above the backdrop of the center field wall, but that's way in the distance. A curve. It looked good from here. Oh, the Kernels thought they had the left-handed batter struck out Brian Graham. Now the runners will be going on this payoff pitch. I thought that pitch was awfully good from Alan Buckley. Alan has been scored upon in his last 3 outings, but he has bridged that gap as a middle relief pitcher, and he's done a good job keeping the Kernels in games. He carried a 6-4 lead into this top of the 6th and has surrendered a couple of runs on 4 hits, trying to get the last out of the inning as the Colonel's 6'6" right-hander. A tap back to Alan Buckley. He has it and throws the batter out. Hey, Alan Buckley, even though he gave up 4 hits, surrendered the tying runs and keeps the Kernels right in this game. In the 6th inning for Burlington, 2 runs on 4 hits. There were no Kernel errors. The Bees leave a pair and have stranded 8. They've out-hit us 13-8, but after 5.5 innings, we're tied 6-6. And you're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
The road to glory. For one truly exceptional individual, the lure of America's pastime and baseball immortality brought him to Cedar Rapids, Iowa. This is his story. Even though he is a quiet, reserved man, many say he left an indelible mark in Cedar Rapids baseball history. ESPN Radio's Bobby V.
They say if he ever does go back, Rob Dibble will end up serving hard time.
His work with wayward women inspired teammates and fans alike. ESPN's Mike Golick and Mike Greenberg.
I hear Dibble got his first tattoo in Cedar Rapids. That's not the first thing he got in Cedar Rapids.
Rude? Maybe. Lewd? Okay, I'm guilty, but never tattooed. Not Cedar Rapids.
Rob Dibble on the road to glory.
The Zone.
Gibbs, trust me, it's okay for you to visit Cedar Rapids. That restraining order's been lifted.
Mike and Mike.
The big subject is whether or not Bud Selig will utilize the best interest of baseball power to institute a stronger drug testing program. Joining us now, the former Commissioner Fay Vincent. If you were the Commissioner of Major League Baseball under the same circumstances today, would you do what they're saying Bud Selig is talking about doing?
You can't do it, guys. You can't interfere. That's a federal protected right the union has, and the management cannot do something unilateral.
Mike and Mike in the morning on ESPN Radio.
Steve Bray has been a tough right-hander to solve out of the B bullpen. He's retired 4 straight Kernels. Aaron Teal will face him for the first time today on Mother's Day. We're in the bottom of the 6th, tied at 6. Aaron Teal slugs one to deep center. Lubanski may not get it. It's way back. Home run! Onto the green backdrop. 440 feet away. Aaron Teal has done something that very few have done in this new stadium. He's hit one onto the green net beyond the center field 400-foot mark. I will estimate it at 430 feet. Aaron Teal, straightaway center, cracks a home run, his 5th of the year. He hasn't played since last Saturday. And on the first pitch of the 6th inning, Aaron Teal gives the Kernels the lead back 7-6. 7-6 Kernels. Aaron Teal with a high deep drive to center. Yes, it got over Lubanski's head. Yes, it went over the 400-foot sign. Yes, it went a third to halfway up the green net background for a home run. We're going to call Mike Kuhlbeck in here. Mike knows this ballpark as well as anyone. The only man who has hit a home run over that green net, Jason Stokes of the Kane County Cougars. Base hit into left by Nick Kempton. Nick Kempton laces a single into left. Kempton is 3 for 3. Nick Kempton is 3 for 3. We're going to see if we can track down Mike Kuhlbeck and get him in here to comment on that home run by Aaron Teal. Nick Kempton is 3 for 3. Aaron Teal slugs one off the netting, the backdrop, the hitter's eye, for his 5th home run of the year, leading off the 7th, and it's 7-6 Kernels. Will Nick Kempton be running? No, he's not. Ball 1 is outside to Quan Cosby. Quan Cosby is 1 for 3 with an RBI single and a run scored. Aaron Teal has broken a 6-6 tie with a leadoff home run over the center field wall here in the bottom of the 6th inning. We're searching for Mike Kuhlbeck and have not found him yet, but when we do, we'll have him comment on whether he thinks that's the 2nd longest home run hit over the center field wall in the 2 1/4 years here in this new Veterans Memorial Stadium. Meanwhile, it's 2-0 to Quan Cosby. Aaron Teal hitting one over the center field wall. Yes, the wind is blowing out. There goes the runner, and a pitch is swung on and fouled into the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion. Yes, Mike Kuhlbeck agrees with me that it hit a third of the way up the green batter's eye. Therefore, Mike probably agrees with me that it's one of the longest home runs hit over the center field wall here at the new stadium. Didn't quite match Jason Stokes' drive that went over that net, but certainly a prodigious tape measure shot by Aaron Teal. And yes, the wind is blowing out towards center, and it helped it some, but Aaron crushed it. Nick Kempton leads away at first. The count is 2-1 on Quan Cosby. Now Steve Bray steps off. In on the edge of the grass at third is Mitch Meyer. There goes the runner, and a wild pitch. Nick Kempton is at second on a wild pitch. That one went right through the legs of the catcher Adam Donahoe, and the wild pitch puts Kempton in scoring position with nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 7-6 Kernels. Aaron Peel hitting one a third of the way up the green batter's eye in center field to lead this inning off. Kimpton followed with his third straight hit of the day. Went to second on a wild pitch. Now Quan on a 3-1 delivery. Swings and misses. Okay, we do agree with Mike Kuhlbeck that only one home run has gone over the batter's eye. That was by Jason Stokes 2 years ago. And that this one hit by Aaron Peel was a third of the way up. Thanks to Colonel Director of Marketing and Public Relations, Mike Kuhlbeck, for his feedback. A ground ball off the mound into center, a base hit. Here comes Kimpton. Lubanski's throw is late up the first base line. Quan to second. Save! RBI single. Pounded off the mound. Hopped into center field. Kimpton scores to make it a 2-run sixth inning, and it's 8-6 Kernels here in this bottom of the sixth inning. Quan Cosby bouncing a single hard off the backside of the mound to score Nick Kimpton, and it's 8-6 Kernels in the bottom of the sixth inning. Could we be headed for yet another Taco Bell 10 spot? Time will tell. Howie Kendrick. He's been impossible to get out recently. Takes ball one low. Nick Kimpton scores on a Quan Cosby single up the middle. And it's 8-6 Kernels here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Kendrick lays off a curve low and away. Howie Kendrick with a 7-game hitting streak. The 2-0. Swing and a tip foul at the feet of the catcher. Well, Alan Buckley surrendered 2 runs in his first inning of relief of Michelle Samar. And Steve Bray, who had retired 4 in a row, has given up 3 straight hits here in the bottom of the sixth. And he has surrendered 2 runs. The runner goes, and a pitch hit into left center. It'll be caught by Brian Graham. Hustling back to second ahead of his throw is Quan Cosby. Oh, Howie Kendrick muscled up and hit one high in the air to left. It was caught by Graham for the first out of the inning. Brandon Wood has had a good day in the field and at the plate. His RBI single back in the 4th inning gave the Kernels a 6-4 lead. Wood, a right-handed batter, trying to give the Kernels another run. Here in the 6th inning, the Kernels up 8-6. Ball one low to Brandon. We want to remind you that you're enjoying Kernel Baseball here on ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, The Zone. Deb Williams is our in-studio engineer. Tonight, you'll hear the game in Phoenix between the Phils and Diamondbacks. Ball 2 downstairs to Brandon Wood. Steve Bray has surrendered a pair on 3 hits here in the bottom of the 6th, and the Kernels have recaptured the lead. Wood hammers one foul into the screen. Strike one to Brandon. A right-hander is throwing in Burlington's bullpen, and that right-hander is Alexis Encarnacion. Alexis Encarnacion warming up for the Bees in the left field bullpen. Bottom of the 6th inning, 24 hits in the game, 13 for the Bees, 11 for the Kernels. Swing and a miss by Brandon on a slider down and in. And it's 2-2 to the Kernel shortstop. Mike Kuhlbeck let us know that Casey Kochman in his first big league at bat grounded out sharply to first base. He reached on a fielder's choice as the Devil Rays threw out a runner at the plate. There goes the runner! And a foul high up into the net sends Quan Cosby back to second. Quan's RBI single has chased home Nick Kimpton after the home run from Aaron Peel to open this inning. 8-6 Kernels. Quan with an average-sized lead at second. The middle infielders squeeze up the middle for Brandon. Now they throw in, and Quan is back standing up. You could tell something was up with both Walter Sevilla and Angel Sanchez kind of acting nonchalant, but both cheating towards second base. Quan has about an 8-foot lead off the bag. The 2-2 to Wood. Curve low, and the count full now. Quan may be running on this 3-2 pitch with one out. The Kernels leading 8-6. Good-sized crowd here on Mother's Day. Now the payoff delivery. With the crowd coming alive. Quan not running. A ground ball to the right side. Underneath the glove of Figueroa. Here comes Cosby. He'll score to make it 9-6. A ground ball underneath the backhanded attempt of Anibal Figueroa. It's a base hit for Brandon Wood. And it's 9-6 Kernels. Brandon Wood has his second straight RBI single. This one just got past the first baseman Figueroa. And Quan Cosby scored, and we may have a pitching change. The Kernels are within one run of a Taco Bell 10 spot, leading 9-6 here in this bottom of the sixth inning. The base hit by Brandon Wood, his second of the day, and out comes Steve Bray. He's been lifted, and Bray will be replaced by right-hander Alexis Encarnacion. Alexis Encarnacion is taking over on the hill for Burlington. Steve Bray went an inning and 2/3. He's given up so far 3 runs on 4 hits all in this inning. He struck out none, and he walked none. Let's take this opportunity to give you the finals we have from earlier this afternoon on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Gary Schubat, and Lanny Peterson. We'll have plenty more in the next 15 minutes or so, but right now we can tell you that at Turner Field in Atlanta, Houston edged the Braves 2-1. At Olympic Stadium, the Cardinals knocked off Montreal today 5-2. And one final from the American League at Skydome, the Blue Jays flew past the White Sox 5-2. We'll have more finals as we go later this afternoon on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Encarnacion, a right-hander, now pitching for Burlington. And Alexis Encarnacion is 1-1 with a 3.12 ERA. He's pitched 17 1/3, given up 14 hits in 17 1/3, 6 runs in 17 1/3. Encarnacion has struck out 19 and walked 6. He's 1-1. Alex Encarnacion. And Bobby Wilson will now bat. He's been knocking the cover off the ball. Bobby Wilson has. He has a double and a run scored this afternoon and a 2-run single. Kernels 9, Burlington 6. The Kernels are within 1 run of a Taco Bell 10 spot. And you know what that means. If we score 1 more run tomorrow during regular business hours, you can get up to 10 beef tacos for just 39 cents at Cedar Rapids Taco Bell. Regularly 89 cents. Encarnacion is stepping off the rubber. He's the second relief pitcher used by Burlington this afternoon. The Bees are on game 11 of a 12-game road trip, their longest of the season. They've been to Quad Cities, South Bend, and now the city of 5 seasons, Cedar Rapids. 12 games on the road. The Bee record on the road this year, 5-9. No pitch yet to Bobby Wilson as the right-hander keeps looking over to first base. Alexis Encarnacion, 21 years old, out of the Dominican Republic. 2-0 with the Arizona Rookie League team last year for the Royals. A 1.71 ERA. 21 innings, he only gave up 4 runs on 17 hits. He fires in a high drive into center. Lubanski a couple of steps back. Chris is there and has it for the second out. Bobby Wilson flies to center. 2 gone in the Kernels' 6th inning. 9-6 Kernels. Matt Brown at the plate with Brandon Wood at first and 2 away in the Kernels' 6th inning. This has been a slugfest, hasn't it? 25 hits in the first 5 2/3 innings. 15 runs. 9-6 Kernels. On Mother's Day, the bats have come alive for both teams. Matt Brown has been hit by a pitch, flown to right, and fouled to third. Encarnacion deals a slider at the knees, strike 1. The sun still trying to come out from behind a blanket of clouds. It was raining lightly a few minutes ago. The rain has subsided. It was just a tiny, tiny sprinkle for about 5 minutes. Ron Klein, the Kernel equipment manager, was all unraveled by it. He was standing in front of the Kernel dugout telling everybody it was raining. A curve is a strike, the throw to second, and Brandon Wood is safe. The ball got out of the mitt of second baseman Walter Sevilla. Brandon Wood with his first stolen base of the year, and he's in scoring position. A base hit by Matt Brown would make it a Taco Bell 10 spot. Yeah, when it rains, our equipment manager takes notice, and he's ready to spring into action to help with tarp duty, but fortunately, I don't think he'll have to do it here on Mother's Day. Matt Brown waits for the 0-2 pitch from the right-hander, Alexis Encarnacion. A slider low and away in the dirt, ball 1. We promised you more finals on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. We'll have them for you in the top of the 7th. Our broadcast assistant, Matt Moss, is getting all of those finals in order for you to share with you on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Runner at second. Brandon Wood. A curve, a deep drive to left. May go. It's at the wall, and it's caught. It's caught in deep left for the final out of the inning. Matt Brown chased Brian Graham to the warning track and left, just beneath the Mix 96.5 FM Westdale Mall. Home run hot tub, and caught it. In the Kernel 6th inning, 3 runs on 4 base hits, no B errors. The Kernels leave 1 man on and have stranded 5. On Mother's Day, we've got a slugfest. After 6, it's the Kernels 9, Burlington 6, and you're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
People say that I can't decide things. They are so wrong, but I could be wrong about that.
A U.S. Bank check card with checking that pays gives you a choice of rewards, like cash, points for merchandise and gift certificates, World Perks miles, or even sweepstakes entries.
Easy decision. I'll take the cash. No, it's a sweep.
Sign up at your local U.S. Bank or call 1-800-720-BANK.
I've made up my mind to put off my decision. That is final.
U.S. Bank.
No, wait.
See banker for complete details. Member FDIC.
Mexico, her voice soars above a sweet Spanish guitar. Under the bed like Dr. Pepper, originality made her a star. The taste of Dr. Pepper, the taste of originality, salutes individuality, and gives life a personality. Be you, do what you do. Be you, and it's better, faster, better. And then you find a stage, a child came of age with a song of passion from the heart, and everyone could tell Anna Gabrielle was an original from the start. The taste of Dr. Pepper, the taste of originality, salutes individuality, and gives life a personality. Be you, do what you do. Be you, nothing's better, faster, better. Be you, do what you do.
6-inch right-hander Alan Buckley on for his second full inning of relief of starter Michelle Samar. Pitches to Walter Sevilla, and Sevilla backs away from a pitch high and tight. Ball one. Walter 0 for 3 today. 25 hits in the game, 13 for the visitors, 12 for the Kernels, 9-6 Kernels in the 7th. Look out, Sevilla's, well, he was struck by the pitch, and then Bobby Wilson was hit by the ricochet. Bobby is squatting or leaning down with his head between his knees. I think it got him on the left wrist, and that hurts. Bobby has been playing such great baseball. Alan Buckley struck the batter, then the ball ricocheted off the batter and hit Bobby Wilson, and out comes Colonel Trainer Brian Renker, and Bobby's going to stay in there. Bobby Magallanes also comes out of the Colonel dugout. Boy, Bobby Wilson, tough as nails, was struck by that pitch after it hit Walter Sevilla, and Bobby Wilson will stay in the game. Oh, brother, no lead has been safe by either club this afternoon. We're in the top of the 7th. It's 9-6 Kernels. Burlington has their leadoff man aboard on a hit batsman. We need a good inning from Alan Buckley desperately. Ball one low and away. We promised you more finals on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, and we'll have them here in just a moment during this top of the 7th inning. Alan Buckley throws to first, and the runner dives back safely. Alan surrendered 2 runs on 4 hits in his first inning of relief. Got behind Walter Sevilla, just missed hitting him, then did hit him. How about a double play, pop-up, or strikeout? Strike one called on the outside corner to Adam Donahue. He's 1 for 3 today. An old-fashioned slugfest. Who's going to be left standing with the most crooked numbers on the scoreboard? Swing and a miss on a good change of speed from Allen. Thanks to State Farm Insurance agents Dale Thompson, Al Shetler, Lanny Peterson, and Gary Shubat. Following this 1-2 pitch, we'll have loads of finals for you on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. A throw to first, the runner back. Matt Moss, take it away.
Well, John, as you said earlier, the Blue Jays flew past the White Sox. That score was 5-2. The Orioles as well flew past the Indians. That score was 12-11.
Wow, what a slugfest that was. A ground ball, not hit hard enough for a double. Oh, the ball hit the batter, the runner. It did. Well, never mind. Adam Donahue is out 4-3. That ball hit the runner, but the umpire did not see it. So Walter Sevilla goes to second. Can anyone here back my assertion that that ground ball hit the runner? Matt Moss?
Sorry, John, I didn't see that.
Well, I'll say this. The base umpire was a lot closer than I was, and he immediately signaled safe. The ball changed directions. I thought it may have skimmed Walter Sevilla. But Adam Donahue grounds to second, a runner to second with 1 out. Brian Foster, a right-handed batter, to face Alan Buckley. He grounded out to third his first time up. Let's continue with that American League.
Well, 2 teams that have been really successful this year, the Detroit Tigers and Texas Rangers, played today at the ballpark in Arlington, and it was Detroit that came out on top. That score was 5-3. And that's it for American League Finals, John.
Well, let's give some partials then. Ball one upstairs to Brian Foster.
In the bottom of the 8th inning, being played at Fenway Park, Kansas City is up on Boston 7-2. Top of the 5th inning, our parent club, the Anaheim Angels, are up 5-1 on the Tampa Bay Devil Rays,
with Casey Kochman making his Angel debut. A curve, a strike from Buckley to the right-handed batter Brian Foster. It's 9-6 Kernels here on Mother's Day. Another curve and a beauty, strike 2 call to the batter.
The New York Yankees are down to Seattle. That game being played at Seattle, the score is 6-1. And the Oakland Athletics have a 3-2 edge over the Minnesota Twins. That game's in the bottom of the 4th inning.
The 1-2. Ooh, it just missed a fastball from Alan Buckley. We have finals in the National League on the State Farm Major League scoreboard.
All right, our finals are Houston beat Atlanta at Turner Field. The score was 2-1. John, your Cardinals beat the Expos 5-2.
A curve is lifted into deep center. Quan turns and retreats and has it. And tagging and going to third is Walter Sevilla. Brian Foster on a 2-2 pitch got Goodwood on it. stroked it to straightaway center. Quan turned, ran to the spot he knew the ball would be, found it, caught it. 2 gone, runner at third for Annabelle Figueroa. So the Cards won in Montreal today.
Yes, they did, John. And in the final in 10 innings, the San Francisco Giants edged the Cincinnati Reds 7-6. That game was being played at the Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati.
Annabelle Figueroa with a runner at third and 2 out. Time is called.
And in some of our partials, the Chicago Cubs and Colorado Rockies are tied at 3. That game's being played at Wrigley Field. Florida Marlins are up 6-1 on the San Diego Padres. That game being played at Pro Players Stadium.
And what inning is that Cub game, Matt?
That Cub game is at the top of the 9th, John.
Oh, boy. Ball one inside to the batter, and the Cubs are doing what?
That game is tied 3-3.
Okay. Runner at third, 2 out in the 7th here, and a beautiful curve is a strike from Alan Buckley to Annabelle Figueroa.
We've got more extra innings action because the New York Mets and Milwaukee Brewers are tied 5 apiece at the bottom of the 11th inning.
Look out, a pitch inside, and Figueroa just got out of the way in time. It's 2-1 to Annabelle.
And at the top of the 13th inning, the Los Angeles Dodgers are up on the Pittsburgh Pirates 7-0.
They must have been scoreless until the 13th inning. The 2-1. A high drive into deep right center, maybe extra bases. Quan on the run, caught it! Quan on the run, caught it! A snow cone catch, reminiscent of the 1969 World Series when Tommy Agee went deep into the right center field gap against Baltimore to rob a hitter of an extra base hit. Quan Cosby has made a sensational catch to put out a possible scoring rally for the Bees here in the 7th inning. Annabelle Figueroa was robbed of an RBI extra base hit on a sensational catch in deep right center by Quan Cosby, a snow cone catch. When that ball left the bat, I thought no way could Quan Cosby get to it, but he did to make a sensational snow cone catch in deep right center. Matt Moss, I haven't seen too many catches like that as well as Quan has played this year. He adds another notch to his belt buckle, robbing a hitter.
Yeah, that was definitely an excellent catch, John.
Wow. Now we go to the bottom, first in the top of the 7th. No runs for the Bees. No hits. A hit batter. There were no Colonel errors. And one left by the Burlington Club. We go to the bottom of the 7th on Mother's Day. Kernels 9, Bees 6. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
When you need group transportation, there is only one name you need to remember. That name is Tri-State Travel, transportation provider for the Cedar Rapids Kernels and hundreds of other schools, organizations, and associations in the Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, and Waterloo area. Check our unblemished safety record, compare our pricing, and then climb aboard one of Tri-State Travel's modern deluxe motor coaches and experience our award-winning service. Tri-State Travel, the leader in motor coach group transportation.
Toyota Financial Services of Cedar Rapids understands the importance of reading in the lives of our community's children. That's why they're proud to fund the 6th annual Toyota Financial Services Kernel Summer Reading Program. The generous support of Toyota Financial Services will result in Kernel players conducting a record 32 elementary school assemblies this spring to encourage girls and boys to read throughout the summer. Their reading accomplishments will be recognized by Toyota Financial Services with fabulous rewards. Toyota Financial Services, a true hero to the Kernels and the youth of our community.
ESPN Radio plays the hits.
Drilled deep down the left field line. It is gone.
All kind of hits.
A swing and a base hit into left field.
The hits of Major League Baseball.
Swung on and grounded out to second. That's the first for the 4-6-3 double play. Nicely done.
Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio.
Blake Balcom has singled off the backside of the mound for the 13th Colonel hit of this afternoon. Bottom of the 7th, 9-6 Colonels. Balcom at first for Matt Abram, and the Colonels try to. Here's a bunt by Abram, and it'll be a base hit. It's barehanded by the pitcher, throws out at first. Oh, I have to take back my words. Matt Abram was out by a whisker, a sacrifice bunt, sending Blake Balcom to second. I don't think Abram was trying to sacrifice. I think he was trying to bunt for a hit, and he darn near did it. But the right-hander, Alexis Encarnacion, barehanded through to the first baseman. It went 1-3 for the sacrifice, and now a base hit by Aaron Peel would give the Kernels a Taco Bell 10 spot. Good news on this Mother's Day, 1,404. A curve is a strike called to Aaron Peel, who belted a home run a third of the way up the dark green net, the hitter's eye, his last time up to break a 6-6 tie. That's right, one more Kernel run means a Taco Bell 10 spot for tomorrow. A curve and a swing and a miss by Peel. Strike two to Aaron. Aaron Peel's home run is 5th of the year, leading off the top or the bottom of the 6th inning. We're going to correct that situation between the Dodgers and Pirates on the State Farm Major League scoreboard here in a moment. Aaron taps one foul behind the plate.
All right, John, I was reading the score off my box scores here, and it said that the Dodgers were up 7-0 over the Pittsburgh Pirates in the top of the 13th. And I went and I looked that score up because it just didn't look right, and it's actually tied 7-7 in the bottom of the 13th. So
what a wild one!
Yeah, Pittsburgh got those 7 runs back.
A ground ball to third, and the runner holds at second. High throw, but Annabelle Figueroa goes up on his pogo stick and comes down on the pillow for the out. Aaron Peel wraps out to third with Blake Balcom holding at second. Nick Kempton's going to try to go 4 for 4 and give the Kernels a Taco Bell 10 spot. Matt Moss, what else left on the National League?
Let's see. We've got a few more games. I've gone over all of the scores except for tonight's 7:05 p.m.
Here on the Zone.
Yes, here on the Zone. It's Philadelphia playing at Arizona.
Well, Matt Moss, thank you very much. We'll have another update on the Colonel Curtin call. Can Kimpton go 4 for 4? A high pop foul will be beyond the reach of the third baseman, or will it? No, the third baseman makes a fine play, drifting all the way into the B bullpen and up against the green padded wall in front of the lawn section. It was caught by Mitch Meyer. Nick Kimpton is 3 for 3 and now 3 for 4 as he fouls out to the third baseman. In the 7th, no runs for the Kernels. 1 hit, their 13th of the afternoon. No Burlington errors, and the Kernels leave a runner. We've left 6 aboard. A new hurler, Bob Zimmerman, will take over in the top of the 8th inning. After 7, it's the Kernels 9 and Burlington 6, and you're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Termites feasting, fishing, tackle, paints and spackle, tubs, jacuzzis, tapes and movies, everything from A to Z. Tile and lumber, tons of plumbers, elevators, coffee makers, radiators, party favors. Take a look and you'll see. Let your fingers do walking through Yellow Book, not the other book.
When it comes to making their buying decisions, people today let their fingers do the walking through Yellow Book Yellow Pages. It's no wonder. Yellow Book's packed with money-saving coupons, restaurant menus, and vital community info. And with more ads than ever before, it has everything you need right at your fingertips. It's easy to spot. Just reach for the yellow directory with the map on the cover and join the smart shoppers who choose Yellow Book, not the other book. Put your business in Yellow Book. Call 1-800-YB-YELLOW.
Let your fingers do walking through Yellow Book, not the other book.
Hey, I'm Hank, driver rig for Hockey Inc. Hauling hockey all across America on a weekly basis. Chances are I'm on the road with you right now, loaded up with this week's shipment of 100% pure All-American hockey. Just a solid blend of work ethic, discipline, and teamwork. Made fresh, delivered fresh. So if you see me coming up in your rear view, make way.
Move it along, Sally. This ain't a parking lot.
The NHL on ESPN. Made in America, delivered on Thursdays.
Mother's Day here at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. Alan Buckley. I told you how good he's been in middle relief. In relief of Michelle Samar, Buckley goes 2 innings. He gave up 2 runs on 4 hits. Allen struck out none, walked none, and he hit a batter.
Leading off in inning 8
A U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen has Bob Zimmerman taking over. Bob Zimmerman 2-2 with 5 saves. Remember, the Colonels promoted, or the Angels promoted, Von David Sturzbach and used newcomer Wayne Hedden yesterday in relief. Bob Zimmerman has a 2-2 record, 5 saves, and a 1.84 earned run average. He's pitching out of the Colonel bullpen for the 12th time this season, and he's trying to help the Colonels protect a 9-6 lead here in the top of the 8th inning. He'll face Brian McFall. A pitch ripped into the left for a leadoff double, I think. Let's see if Nick Kimpton can hold the batter to a single. No, he cannot. Nick heaves it back in, and the 14th hit of the day, the third for Brian McFall. He had an average of 129. That's his second straight double. We knew Burlington would come alive with the bats in this series. You just don't hit 204, which is what they were hitting when this series started. Well, Bob Zimmerman is now having to face the top of the order. His first pitch was cracked for a double into the left field corner. Bob last pitched Thursday here at home against the Fort Wayne Wizards. That was a Thursday afternoon game, and he was hung with the loss. He pitched 2 innings, allowed 2 runs on 3 hits, struck out 4, walked none. Ball 1 is inside to the leadoff batter, Chris Lubanski. Long way to go in this one, top of the 8th. Burlington 14 hits. The Colonels lead the Bees 9-6. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Bob Zimmerman in 14 2/3 has given up just 10 hits. He struck out 18 in 14 2/3, only walked 2. The league hitting 204 against Bob Zimmerman. 6 foot 5 inch, 225-pound right-hander. A changeup is high. We haven't enjoyed our Kernel of Wisdom yet, nor have we told you about Halo happenings. But we have time to do that here in the late going. A base hit into center. The runner will hold at third. It's first and third, nobody out. 15 hits for the Bees. Chris Lubanski has his second hit. He drove it into the shallow center field region where Quan Cosby retrieved it and held Brian McFall at third. The Bees are on the comeback trail. Our Kernel of Wisdom, did you know that the 1930 Philadelphia Phillies batted .315 as a team, but still finished in last place in the National League? They were 52-102. The 1930 Phillies, the only team in history to finish in the cellar despite hitting over 300. Their team ERA, 6.71. Boy, how would you like to have a team who hit .315 and finished 50 games under 500? A double play ball to second. A run scores. Kendrick to Wood. Brandon to first. Got a ball! Big double play. Huge double play. Brian McFall scores to make it 9-7 Colonels. Angel Sanchez, who had 3 hits in this game, hit it to Howie Kendrick, and Howie started the 4-6-3 twin killing. The ball was hit up the middle. That's where Kendrick was playing Sanchez. Howie underhanded it to Brandon Wood on to first, and the Colonels have turned their second double play of this afternoon. Yeah, on that Philadelphia team in 1930, Chuck Klein hit .386. He was a Hall of Famer. Lefty O'Doul hit .383, and Pinky Whitney hit .342. 1-1 the count now to left-handed hitting Mitch Meyer. The Phillies, though, had a team ERA of 6.71. And opponents, get this, a dry foul over the lawn section down the left field line. Opponents in 1930 hit .342 off Philadelphia pitching. I don't know what I would have done as their broadcaster in 1930 except enjoy the offense and cry about the lousy pitching. How do you hit .315 as a team and finish 52-102? That's our Kernel of Wisdom, the 1930 Phillies. Bob Zimmerman comes inside, and fouling it off to the left is Mitch Meyer. Mitch has 3 of the 15 hits by Burlington this afternoon. The Colonels holding on to a 9-7 lead with the bases empty and 2 out here in the top of the 8th inning on Mother's Day. 1,404 That's a real high, lazy fly ball to Nick Kimpton. He has to scoot 4 steps to his left and makes the grab. Mitch Meyer flies to left to end the B8th inning. Bob Zimmerman allowed the first 2 to reach on hits, but only gave up 1 run on 2 hits. There were no Kernel errors, and the Bees strand no one. They've left 9. The Kernels look for a Taco Bell 10 spot as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's the Kernels 9 and the Bees 7. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Hope you're having a great weekend. Scott Unash aboard with you, and here's a look at this week's sports lineup. Taking a look at Monday, the Kernels close out the long 8-game homestand as they host the Burlington Bees one more time. 6:10, the dugout interview time. Then the Kernels hit the road on Tuesday, the 11th, as they take on the Beloit Snappers from Pullman Field in Beloit, Wisconsin. 6:10 is your pregame for that one. Same 2 teams go at it on Wednesday night. Kernels at Beloit, again at 6:10. And then an early game for you on Thursday. 10:40 is the pregame time in the morning as the Kernels take on Beloit. Friday night, the 14th, it'll be the Kernels closing out that road trip to Beloit, again at 6:10. And that'll be followed by Hawkeye Downs Friday night feature racing from Iowa Super Speedway. That's a look at your sports lineup for the week right here on The Zone.
ESPN Radio plays the hits.
Drilled deep down the left field line. It is gone.
All kind of hits.
A swing and a base hit in the left field.
The hits of Major League Baseball.
Good swung on, grounded out to second. Back to first for the 4-6-3 double play. Nicely done.
Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio.
Wisdom has a very important postscript as Alexis Encarnacion delivers high to the Kernel leadoff man, Quan Cosby. Quan with an RBI single and a run scored in the Kernel 3-run 6. 9-7 Kernels. Bottom of the 8th inning, right-hander Encarnacion delivers a changeup and a swing and a miss by Quan. Andy Pantini, one of the most prolific and renowned baseball historians on stadiums that I know. Andy and I love trading our books back and forth on the stadiums, old and new. A swing and a miss by Quan on another let-up, strike 2. And Andy said the reason the Phillies hit .315 and had a team ERA of 6.71 wasn't just because they were a prolific offensive team and a pretty lousy pitching team. They played in an old stadium called Baker Bowl. Swing and a foul off the mask of the catcher, Adam Donahue. Quan still up at 1-2 strikes. Baker Bowl was only 290 feet down the right field line, a 40-foot high wall with a 20-foot screen. And according to Andy, old pictures of Baker Bowl show a Lifebuoy sign. That's still a brand name recognized in the soap industry, Lifebuoy. Quan pokes one foul to the left side of the backstop. It's still 1-2. Andy Pantini said in that year, 1930, that some fan on that Lifebuoy sign said they wrote Lifebuoy makes you clean, but the Phillies still stink, or some line like that. Matt Moss, wasn't that the punchline?
I'm not sure, but you know what? I'm going to go ask him. We'll find out exactly what that punchline was.
Something to the effect that, the Phillies may have Lifebuoy, but they still stink. They did in 1930. Thanks, Andy Pantini. I love talking old baseball stadiums with you. The 1-2 to Quan is outside. Andy Pantini is one of the few men in baseball who remember old Forbes Field in Pittsburgh. They had the batting cage parked in center field, and that center field wall was about 440 feet deep. I remember Matty Alou chasing down a ball at the base of the batting cage at old Forbes Field. They kept it right on the center field wall, or in front of the wall. Here's a deep drive to center. Lubanski won't get it. It's the 14th hit of the day for the Kernels. Quan's going to try for 3. The throw is not made, and the Kernels are within 90 feet of a Taco Bell 10 spot. Quan Cosby has tripled over the head of Chris Lubanski. Quan Cosby has the 14th hit of the day for the Kernels. And now the Kernels have a great chance. It's lucky that Sonia Massey has just arrived, because Sonia might be the one making the call to Taco Bell. Could we have another Taco Bell 10 spot looming? Well, Kwan's at third with nobody out. We're going to pull that number down off the score or off the bulletin board just in case. Howie Kendrick at the plate, 9-7 Kernels. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Cosby at third with nobody out. 29 hits on Mother's Day. Ground ball base hit. Taco Bell 10 spot. Taco Bell 10 spot. 10-7 Kernels. 10-7 Kernels. Howie Kendrick with his third hit. Howie Kendrick with his third hit. And the Kernels have a Taco Bell 10 spot. The Kernels have a Taco Bell 10 spot. The Kernels lead it 10-7. Howie Kendrick wrapping a single past the drawn-in shortstop, Angel Sanchez. We're on the phone now to Taco Bell to let everybody know about the Taco Bell 10 spot. And 7 Kernels here in the bottom of the 8th inning. We have notified Taco Bell, and apparently all the communication is starting to roll so that tomorrow you can enjoy up to 10 beef tacos for just 39 cents at Cedar Rapids Taco Bells. Wow. The 4th Taco Bell 10 spot of the year. On Mother's Day, I never dreamed there would be 30 hits in this game and a 10-7 Kernel lead. A deep drive to left by Brandon Wood. Goodbye! Goodbye! It's the 4th of the year for Brandon Wood, and the Kernels lead it 12-7. The 16th Kernel hit of the day is a 2-run blast by Brandon Wood over the 16-foot high Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion, and the Kernels are now pulling away from Burlington 12-7. This Kernel Ball Club is trying to go 11-7 at home. 4-3 on the homestand. A home run cut by Bobby Wilson, and he pops one into the lawn section. A kid with a glove has been outfought well. A kid with a glove got it. They're making the announcement about the Taco Bell 10 spot.
In Cedar Rapids area Taco Bell for just 39 cents. Just mentioned the Kernel score 10 runs or more at the 10 spot. You'll get a special on beef tacos tomorrow at Taco Bell.
Oh, now the plate umpire has to stop action as Dale Brote was doing his job telling the fans about the promotion. The plate umpire stepped in front of the plate and said, "We need it quiet now." Here's a deep drive by Bobby Wilson for extra bases over the head of Lubanski. Bobby Wilson will go to second, and he'll stop there with the 17th Kernel hit of the afternoon. Bobby Wilson has his third hit, his second double, and the Kernels have lit it up here. We're going to give you an update on Bobby Wilson and his hot hitting.
Well, John, we mentioned earlier that Bobby Wilson was on the Who's Hot list because he had a trio of 3-hit games. Well, that has just been a quartet. That trio has been upgraded to a quartet, John. That's his 4th straight 3-hit game.
Oh, my goodness. Matt Moss sharing the good news about Bobby Wilson. He and Howie Kendrick are just, well, when the ball comes over the plate, it must look like a beach ball to them. And the Kernels now have out-hit Burlington 17-15. And remember, tomorrow, during the business hours, tomorrow and tomorrow evening at all Cedar Rapids Taco Bells, you can step up or drive through and say, "I'm here for those 39-cent beef tacos," because the Kernels played at a Taco Bell 10 spot yesterday. That is today. A ball down low to Matt Brown. There's still nobody out in the Kernel 8th inning, and the Kernels lead it 12-7. Oh, my goodness, what a hitting barrage put on by both teams today. A curve from Encarnacion, a strike to Matt Brown. Alan Buckley is the pitcher of record in this game for the Kernels. And the pitcher of record for Burlington is Steve Bray. The 1-1 to Matt Brown. Swing and a miss. This Mother's Day crowd has been somewhat subdued, and probably because it's a warm, sunny Sunday afternoon, and they probably all went to brunch before the game to treat Mom. But I'll tell you what, the Taco Bell 10 spot sure got them excited. They can't wait to get to Taco Bell tomorrow. Ball 2 is low to Matt Brown. And it would kind of figure that with the temperatures on the rise, the batters would start to catch up to the pitching. Pitchers usually have the upper hand the first month of the year here in the Midwest League because of the chilly conditions. Brownie on a 2-2 count, a deep drive to left, hooking foul onto the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion. Alan Buckley is the pitcher of record for the Kernels if, and this is a big if, with that wind blowing out and Burlington having 15 hits, but if the Kernels can hold on, Alan Buckley will earn his first win of the season out of the Kernel bullpen in relief of Michelle Samar. But we're a long way from that. A 5-run lead with this wind blowing out is not safe today. Look out, a pitch goes behind Matt Brown, behind his calves, and some fella down below says, good call, ump, meaning that the umpire called it a ball. I suppose if a pitch goes behind a batter, ordinarily it will be a ball. Kernels 12, Burlington 7. A deep drive to left, way back at the wall, goodbye! On to the Westdale ball, Big 96.5 FM, home run hot tub. Kernels 2 touchdowns, Burlington 1 touchdown, 14-7 Kernels. Matt Brown with his third of the year. Matt Brown with his third of the year on a 3-2 pitch. And Matt Brown has joined Brandon Wood in hitting a 2-run homer here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And it's 14-7 Kernels. 14-7 in a Mother's Day slugfest of epic proportion. Matt Brown joins the Kernel hit parade. That is now 18 Kernel hits. Look out. Don't get too loose in the box, Blake Balcom. Or don't, a curve is outside. I meant don't dig in too much. I thought the Bees might want to put a halt to this barrage by sticking one near Blake's ear, but it was a curveball outside from Alexis Encarnacion. Fastball, and it's whistled foul into the screen, strike one. 14-7 Kernels. Remember to call your friends and tell them about the 10 beef tacos tomorrow at Cedar Rapids Taco Bell's. 39-cent beef tacos when you mention the Taco Bell 10 spot this afternoon. A curve is into Blake, and he steps out. Balcom has a hit today. I think everyone, yes, everyone in the Kernel lineup has at least one hit. 1-2 to Blake Balcom. Curve, and this one is hammered into the net, foul. 1,404 enjoying the action here this afternoon. Hey, a kid who caught a foul ball is showing his mom his lifetime honorary Kernel contract and his free spaghetti dinner from Zio Giano's. His dad's looking at it now. Blake Balcom pops one foul onto the grandstand roof. Well, what happened now? Somebody cheering loud. A fella must have made another good catch in the stand. I'll tell you, sometimes those fielding plays in the stands garner a bigger round of applause than anything on the field. Not today, though. The Kernels have brought this Mother's Day crowd to life with 14 runs. Balcom hangs tough, fouls another one off to the right. We'll conclude this 8-game homestand in this 4-game series against Burlington with a 6:30 game tomorrow. The gates open at 5:30, and we'll be welcoming Jackson Elementary School, the Jackson Jets, and their principal, Bill Utterback. From the stretch, another 1-2 to Blake. A high fly ball into center. Lubanski's been busy all afternoon, and it's caught in deep center. Blake Balcom flies to center for the first out of the Colonel 8th inning.
First baseman,
Aaron Peel broke a 6-6 tie in this game with a home run a third of the way up the green hitter's net. The hitter's backdrop, estimated to be 435 feet to straightaway center. The Colonels lead it 14-7 right now in the bottom of the 8th. A curve, and Matt Abrams swings and misses, strike one. The Colonels have scored 5 runs here in the 8th inning on 5 straight hits. A pair of 2-run homers by Wood and Brown. Swing and a miss on a curveball, and Abram is in the hole, 0-2. Only one error has been made in this game. It was made by the Bees by their starting pitcher, Chris Goodman, back in the 3rd inning. A little looper into shallow left, and coming on to his left to make a running catch is Brian Graham. A line drive off the end of the bat by Matt Brown was caught by Brian Graham in left center. There are 2 gone now in the Colonel 8th inning. Here's Aaron Peel. This kid hadn't played since last Saturday in Grand Rapids, and he broke a 6-6 tie with a tape measure home run over the center field wall in the Colonel 3-run 6th inning. We said whoever had the most crooked numbers on the board would win today's game, and that's so far what has been true. Aaron Peel drives one on top of the Papa John's Plaza down the right field line. Strike one to Aaron. Open stance, right-handed batter. His home run in the 6th inning was his 5th of the season. A bouncer to short. The shortstop Sanchez comes over the top with the peg, and Aaron Peel is gone on a 6-3 bouncer to short. In the 8th inning, 5 runs for the Colonels on 5 hits, no B errors. The Colonels leave the bases empty. We go to the top of the 9th on Mother's Day, and the Colonels are leading Burlington 14-7. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Dick Ramsey is the #1 home seller for the #1 real estate company, Skogman Realty. That means when you're marketing your home for sale or searching for the ideal home to buy, Dick Ramsey's Home Team will get you the results you deserve. Dick Ramsey's Home Team has the best deal going. Buy one of their homes, and Ramsey will buy yours. That's the winning edge Dick Ramsey's Home Team will deliver to you. Dick Ramsey, the #1 home seller for the #1 real estate company, Skogman Realty.
A batter connecting with one right on the sweet spot is one of the most comforting sounds of summer. Thanks to Comfort Solutions by Banks, you can experience the comforting sounds of our national pastime in a home comfort system from Lennox. You can count on Comfort Solutions by Banks for friendly sales and service, free quotes, and high-efficiency, environmentally friendly Lennox equipment. Receive up to a $1,000 rebate or up to a 10-year extended warranty with the purchase of qualifying Dave Lennox Signature Collection home comfort systems from Comfort Solutions by Banks. Offer expires May 31st, 2004. One offer per qualifying installation. Lennox, making your home a better place. Lennox dealers include independently owned and operated businesses. See your participating Lennox dealer, Comfort Solutions by Banks, for details.
Bob Zimmerman brings a strike in to Brian Graham, the cleanup batter. It's 14-7 Colonels, and we are in the top of the 9th. A swing and a miss by Graham. Halo happenings, results from around the Anaheim Angel organization and how former Colonels fared last night. Matt Moss will tell us about some former Colonels who figured into Farm Club games last night. Take it away, Matt. Ball one high to the batter.
Okay, the AA Arkansas Travelers won 5-4 over Midland. Some highlights: Alberto Callaspo, Tommy Murphy, and Nick Gorneau had 3 hits apiece for the Travelers.
A ground ball hit sharply to the right side. Howie Kendrick gobbles it up, and there's one away as Howie gets Brian Graham 4-3. One out in the 9th, and Colonel broadcast assistant Matt Moss filling us in on Halo happenings.
Also in that 5-4 Travelers victory, Jonathan Rowenhorst pitched 2.2 scoreless innings for his third save. 2 2/3, right, John?
That's right.
2 2/3 scoreless innings for his third save for the Travelers.
Good news from Arkansas.
And the Single A Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, John, is that the right?
You got it.
The Quakes, they won 7-1 over Lake Elsinore. 7-1 was that scored in 11 innings, and former Colonel B.J. Weed singled home 2 runs in the Quakes' 6-run outburst that led to the win.
Oh, great news. A pitch for a strike. It's 0-2 to Walter Sevilla. Halo happenings, results from around the Anaheim organization. We told you about the great accomplishment of Casey Kotzman making it to the big leagues in the lineup this afternoon. Swing and a miss by Walter Sevilla, a slider. And, Matt, we usually just highlight former Colonels, and those are all of them, aren't they?
Yes.
Okay. And we gave the news about Casey Kotzman, the regular first baseman here 2 years ago. He's now in the big leagues with Anaheim, playing this afternoon for the injured Darren Erstad. 2 gone in the 9th inning, and the batter is left-handed hitter Adam Donahue. A strike called from Bob Zimmerman. 14-7 Colonels, and we're in the top of the 9th. Donahue swings and misses strike 2. It's Mother's Day, and the Colonels are within 1 out and 1 strike of a victory. Bob Zimmerman into his windup, misses low. Right now, this game is 2 hours and 48 minutes old, and we are in the top of the 9th inning. Bases empty, 2 gone, and Adam Donahue waits. And swings and misses strike 3. A Mother's Day victory for the Colonels. Bob Zimmerman sets the side down in order in the Burlington 9th inning. Alan Buckley the winner. Colonels 14, Burlington 7. Totals, highlights, and more come your way next on the Colonel Curtain Call. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Did you know nearly 40% of all the waste going to landfills is paper? That includes newspapers, magazines, catalogs, junk mail, computer paper, cereal boxes, pop and beer cartons. Your friends at Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling encourage you to recycle those common household paper products by putting them in your blue recycling box on Collection Day. Save our landfill space. Recycle your paper waste.
With all the talk about rising gas prices, doesn't it make sense to drive a fuel-efficient vehicle? You can when you buy with confidence at Randy Keel Honda. Get up to 51 miles to the gallon with the Honda Civic Hybrid. Every Honda model has awesome fuel efficiency. Don't wait for $2 a gallon gas to buy a fuel-efficient car. Now when you can save time and money now by previewing Randy Keel's fuel-efficient inventory online at randykeel.com. Right now, lease a 2004 Honda Accord LX for only $235 per month. At Randy Keel Honda, you'll find many great buys under $5,000 too. Randy Keel is the home of confidence, a 7-year, 100,000-mile guarantee. Randy Keel is dedicated on getting you the lowest possible price backed by the best service in the Midwest. Stop by and see for yourself at Randy Keel Honda, Center Point Road Northeast in Cedar Rapids, or visit them on the web at randykeel.com. Accord LX lease, 36 months, $14.88 due at lease signing. Includes first month's payment, security deposit, capitalized cost reduction, and excludes tax and license.
Advanced Systems, the leader in office technology, is like a great baseball coach when it comes to office productivity. Advanced Systems makes the most of your team. They do it with the latest technology for office productivity from Canon. They're also like a great trainer. Advanced Systems Advanced Life Support makes sure your office equipment runs at peak levels and fixes it fast if things go wrong. Hit it over the fence with Canon technology from Advanced Systems. Call 832-8291.
Business for the 21st century with Advanced Systems.
Hey, I'm Hank, driver rig for Hockey Inc. All in hockey all across America on a weekly basis. Chances are I'm on the road with you right now, loaded up with this week's shipment of 100% pure all-American hockey. Just a solid blend of work ethic, discipline, and teamwork. Made fresh, delivered fresh. So if you see me coming up in your rear view, make way.
Move it along, Sally. This ain't a parking lot.
The NHL on ESPN. Made in America, delivered on Thursdays.
It's new and it's available at Hy-Vee. DiGiorno Thin Crispy Crust Pizza is the perfect combination of big juicy toppings on a thin crispy crust that is soft and tender on the inside and crispy on the outside. DiGiorno Thin Crispy Crust Pizza comes in several varieties, including supreme, pepperoni, 4 cheese, and 4 meat. So on your next shopping trip to your favorite Cedar Rapids or Marion Hy-Vee store, check out the new DiGiorno Thin Crispy Crust Pizza. You've never tasted any thin like it.
It's time for the Kernels Curtain Call, right here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM. With a recap of all the action, the State Farm Major League scoreboard, plus a look ahead to the next Kernels game, let's rejoin the voice of the Kernels, the one, the only John Rogers, here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM.
On Mother's Day, a slugfest, a football-like score, 14-7 Kernels. The Kernel victory, a Taco Bell 10 spot. We'll say more about that shortly. Overall, now the Kernel record 18-12 here on the homestand, 4-3, and 11-7 at home on the season. This was a seesaw game in the first part and middle part. The Kernels led 1-0. Then Burlington took the lead in the third, 3-1. The Kernels bounced back with 3 in the bottom of the third to lead at 4-3. The Bees tied it at 4 in the top of the fourth off starter Michelle Samar. The Kernels played at 2 in the bottom of the fourth to lead 6-4. Back came the Bees with 2 in the top of the sixth to tie it 6-6. Then the Kernels broke through with 3 in the bottom of the sixth inning to make it 9-6. Burlington scored a run in the eighth to make it 9-7, but then the Kernels put it away with 5 in the bottom of the eighth and win it 14-7. Here's the final line score for the Kernels: 14 runs, 18 hits, no errors. We stranded 6. The Bees had 7 runs on 15 hits, 1 error, and they left 9 aboard. Neither starter figured in the decision. Alan Buckley was the winner for the Kernels. He pitched 2 innings out of the Kernel bullpen. He's 1-0. The loser for Burlington was right-handed reliever Steve Bray. He is 0-1. This Mother's Day crowd, 1,404, and the time of the game, 2 hours and 48 minutes. Remember, because the Kernels scored 10 or more runs this afternoon, tomorrow at all Cedar Rapids Taco Bells, you can enjoy up to 10 beef tacos for 50 cents off the regular price. Tacos, beef tacos, just 39 cents tomorrow at Cedar Rapids Taco Bells. You have to tell them you're there because the Kernels scored 10 or a Taco Bell 10 spot. We'll enjoy our Liberty Bank star plays of the game when we return. 14-7 Kernels, and you're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
On the outside, everything looks fine. But on the inside, an unseen enemy is plotting the destruction of your home. Termites. Termites can be deadly to your home unless you fight back with certified pest and termite control. Yes, termites have made their way to Iowa, and they can cause extensive damage to your home before you even know they're there. It takes a trained professional to look in all the right places. Don't risk your home. Call the experienced, licensed, and insured experts at Certified Pest and Termite Control. 1 in 5 homes inspected have shown signs of termites. Certified offers guaranteed inspections and a 10% discount for seniors. Locally owned and operated, Certified carries a full supply for the do-it-yourselfers. Look for the giant ant at 1141 16th Avenue Southwest. Don't take a chance. Call Certified Pest and Termite Control today.
Children enjoy running the bases before a Mother's Day crowd of 1,404. It's the Kernels 14, Burlington 7. Iowa's fastest-growing community bank, Liberty Bank, is now proud to bring us the Liberty Bank star plays of the game. With the score tied at 6 in the bottom of the sixth inning, Aaron Peel, who hadn't played since last Saturday in Grand Rapids, faced right-hander Steve Bray, who had retired the first 4 Kernels he faced in relief of starter Chris Goodman. Here's our first Liberty Bank star play of the game.
Aaron Peel slugs one to deep center. Lubanski may not get it. It's way back. Home run! Onto the green backdrop. 440 feet away. Aaron Peel has done something that very very few have done in this new stadium. He's hit one onto the green net beyond the center field 400-foot mark. I will estimate it at 430 feet. Aaron Peel, straightaway center, cracks a home run
to give the Kernels a 7-6 lead. The Kernels led 9-7 going into the bottom of the 8th inning. Quan Cosby a leadoff triple, and well, before we get there, let's go to the Burlington 7th inning. The Bees trailed 9-6. The batter was Annabelle Figueroa. Here is our second Liberty Bank star play of the game.
A high drive into deep right center, made the extra bases. Quan on the run, caught it! Quan on the run, caught it! A snow cone catch, reminiscent of the 1969 World Series when Tommy Agee went deep into the right center field gap against Baltimore to rob a hitter of an extra base hit.
Quan Cosby, a sensational catch. By my count, that is 5 sensational catches for Quan this season in center field. He robbed Annabelle Figueroa of an RBI in the 7th inning with the score 9-6 Kernels. Now we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Kernels led 9-7. Quan, a leadoff triple, and then Howie Kendrick came to the plate. Here's our third and final Liberty Bank star play of the game.
Howie Kendrick at the plate, 9-7 Kernels. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Cosby at third with nobody out. 29 hits on Mother's Day. Ground ball base hit. Taco Bell 10 spot. Taco Bell 10 spot. 10-7 Kernels. 10-7 Kernels. Howie Kendrick with his third hit. Howie Kendrick with his third hit. And the Kernels have a Taco Bell 10 spot.
And led the game 10-7, won it 14-7. A pair of 2-run homers by Brandon Wood and Matt Brown followed in that big 5-run 8th inning. Those were our Liberty Bank star plays of the game, brought to you by Iowa's fastest-growing community bank, Liberty Bank. Up next, Colonel Broadcast Assistant Matt Moss has a complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Everyone wants their print and copy needs to be done right and to be done on time. Copyworks will meet those expectations. Copyworks will see to it that your work is of the highest quality. They'll do that by consulting with you at your place of work. Copyworks stands behind their work for you. It will be done right and it will be done on time. You can count on Copyworks to come through for you. When it's important to you, Copyworks lets your work shine through.
Copyworks, Copyworks.
ESPN Radio plays the hits.
Drilled deep down the left field line. It is gone.
All kind of hits.
A swing and a base hit in the left field.
The hits of Major League Baseball.
It's swung on and grounded out to second. Back to first for the 4-6-3 double play. Nicely done.
Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio.
14-7, the Kernels are victors this afternoon, launching an 18-hit barrage on Mother's Day. 14-7 Kernels over the Burlington Bees. We've enjoyed our game recap, our Liberty Bank star plays of the game. Sunday is always a busy day on the big league front. And State Farm Insurance agents Lanny Peterson, Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, and Gary Schubat proud to bring us this look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. And Matt Moss, broadcast assistant, it's all yours.
All right, well, we had a lot of extra innings baseball today on Mother's Day, so we'll start in the National League. It saw a lot of that excitement. Let's see, the Houston Astros won at Turner Field in Atlanta. That score was 2-1. John, as we said earlier, your St. Louis Cardinals edged the Expos 5-2. The New York Mets won a squeaker against the Milwaukee Brewers. That game played at Shea Stadium. It took 11 innings, and the final score was 6-5. Another extra innings bout featured the San Francisco Giants and the Cincinnati Reds. San Francisco edged the Reds 7-6, that one in 10 innings. And that game that we had, that little flub, that little mix-up earlier, that actually lasted 14 innings, so about a game and a half, and the Dodgers picked up a 9-7 victory over the Pittsburgh Pirates, John. And let's see, the Cubs, it's at the top of the 11th inning, and they are tied 4-4 against the Rockies, that game at Wrigley Field. So I'm going to go ahead and cross my fingers, John, and hope that one turns out good. And Florida drubbed the San Diego Padres 7-2. Oh, and I'm sorry, that game is still in progress, 7-2. They're working on a drubbing, but it's not quite finished. That game's being played at Pro Player Stadium.
And that's Florida and the Phillies.
No, the Padres.
Okay.
The Phillies play tonight against Arizona. That game's at 7:05 on the Zone. And in the American League, as we said earlier, the Toronto Blue Jays flew past the White Sox 5-2. The Baltimore Orioles flew past the Indians as well. That score was 12-11, so not too far from our score here today in terms of total runs scored, John. And two teams that have been on a tear lately, the Detroit Tigers and the Texas Rangers. That score was 5-3 in favor of Detroit. The parent club of the Burlington Bees, the Kansas City Royals, won 8-4 at Fenway Park against the Boston Red Sox today. And in the top of the 7th inning, the Oakland A's are up 7-4 over the Minnesota Twins. That game being played at the Coliseum in Oakland. And at the top of the 7th, the New York Yankees are losing to Seattle Mariners 4-6. The Seattle Mariners trying to get a little momentum going as they sit at the bottom of their division. And our parent club, the Anaheim Angels, are up 6-4 over the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. That game being played in Anaheim, and that game's in the top of the 7th, and that is going to round out our Major League action today on Mother's Day, John.
Well, thanks, Matt. And we want to note again that former Colonel first baseman Casey Kochman is in the lineup for Anaheim, replacing the injured Darren Erstad, and he does have a sacrifice fly for the parent club, the Angels. He has an RBI in his Major League debut, Casey Kochman. That look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Dale Thompson, Al Shetler, Lanny Peterson, and Gary Schubat, Colonel Broadcast Assistant Matt Moss, with a terrific job delivering you those scores. Well, the homestand comes to an end tomorrow. The gates open at 5:30, a 6:30 start. The Colonels have a chance to make it 5-3 on the homestand, having plastered the Bees 14-7 on 18 hits this afternoon on Mother's Day. Remember, tomorrow, visit any Cedar Rapids Taco Bells and tell them you're there for the Taco Bell 10 spot, and you can receive up to 10 beef tacos for just 39 cents at Cedar Rapids Taco Bells. That's 50 cents below the regular price on beef tacos at Taco Bell. Thanks for being with us. We had a good crowd, 1,404, and the Colonels had 18 hits and sent the Bees to a 14-7 defeat here this afternoon on Mother's Day. Have a great rest of your Mother's Day, and join us tomorrow at 6:10 for the homestand finale, the 4th of 4 against Burlington. 6:10 dugout interview time tomorrow. Thanks to Deb Williams, our in-studio engineer. Deb will have Sunday night baseball for you here on the Zone in less than 2 hours. The Phillies and D-backs in Phoenix. For Colonel Broadcast Assistant Matt Moss, I'm John Rogers. 14-7 Colonels. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
This has been a special sports presentation from the Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids. Now back to our regularly scheduled ESPN programming already in progress.